Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's have some fun today as I adjust this a little bit. My name is Ray Reynolds, and I'm the Godfather of Credit, which has got a silly nickname on KNX Radio years ago. Been on that station about 50 years. I teach people to get money on an automatic system. It's called auto income. What does that mean? Well, today, if you want to listen and learn, you can change your life if you want to. I'd say tap and pen time. I'd like to show you a mouse pad I'd like to send you for free. I know it's backwards. I'll show you one that's not backwards in a moment or two. We get to play the game to win. Now, let's understand a couple things, what's happened so far in your life. Today, most of you get your credit scores a little kind of whacked up. What does that mean? Utilization problem. Okay, scores down. Maybe it's up. What do we need to do? What are you going to do after your score is back on the 750 track? What do? Well, the reality is, why don't you think about investing something in an auto income business? Why don't you buy a business that you drive by every day that gives you an auto income the rest of your life? Own a piece of something, in other words. If you own a piece of something, you can basically protect yourself and your family. And the goal is very simple. You're creating money in an automatic situation. See, most rich and famous people, they actually invest in a product or service, and then they just get income. They're an investor. They buy a Wendy's restaurant, a Jack in the Box, with things like that, a storage unit, laundromat, car wash, shopping center, condos, or apartment complex. Those are called auto incomes. What happens if you're an investor? All right, the main thing is you don't do anything besides you receive money on a monthly base. So the goal is very simple. How do we get there? How do rich and famous get there? How do they actually get to that process and get to the point of this? They receive money on a monthly base. It's not easy. If you want easy, I can't give you easy. But if you want to know how to do the game and play it, I can try to do that too. This is the ultimate goal for all of us as we play this game to win. So this morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What do you get to do? Well, it's very simple. Every one of these cards is under the name of the Ray Reynolds University, okay? All right, here's over $1 million in my hand. What would you do with $1 million? What would you do with $1 million of credit or cash for you today? Problem is what you've done in the past. Unfortunately, you need to change your routine. In other words, your routine, I'm going to say flat out, it sucks. That's just my opinion. So as we gather these people today, if we want to get past go, we can do what's called structure. Structure was finance and dreams. Structure, finance, and dreams. So a lot of you end up scrolling through the internet. You watch a bunch of silly circus clowns. I call them clowns because they're these pretend coaches. I've been doing this for 50 years. I helped set up the credit system in the first place. So if you want $1 million of credit or corporation or what structure, let me know. If you want to actually get past go, because I think you're stuck, because I think it kind of sucks. So it's to understand. Thank you for the hearts. I really love that. It's kind of nice. Now, this is my 20th week on TikTok, social media. 20 weeks, okay? It's kind of fun. But again, it's been unique for me a little bit. Why? Because I'm not used to a lot of BS. It's wrong information. I'm not used to wrong information. You see, in my writing checks for millions and millions of dollars for radio and TV for 50 years made sense to me. But now I have to deal with a lot of people. And what happens, I find a lot of people wrong, or they're just guessing, or they're going to write out this and that. No. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. And the IRS kind of controls that. They do it their way. So if we learn to play the game, we can learn to win if we want to. But it's very simple today. The ultimate goal is very simple, is we want to get past go. I think most people are stuck. I think that kind of sucks. So today I want to talk about you. I want to talk about auto income. I'd like to talk about auto income. Good morning, Mindy. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Black Kinfoot. How are you doing today? As we go through this process, let's learn to play the game. You see, the bottom line is very simple. All right, what is your credit score today? What is your score? All right, write down your score, put it in the screen. From there, type your score. Type your credit score. Okay, go ahead, please do that. Let's understand something. I'm going to show you how you can get to a 750 in about 90 working days, which you can do yourself if you want to. I'll show you how to do that as well. So we have a 582. As we know, Martin, that's not a good score. Now, what's our problem? Here we got a 490, okay? Here's a 780, okay? What is our problem? It could be utilization. It could be you have a collection account. The main thing is understand how to play the game to win. Let's use an example. If today I was to analyze your credit score, if I was to personally analyze your personal, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, I could tell you exactly point by point how to get past go and get where it needs to be. 600, 765, fantastic. Well, what happens is this, very simple. What are you going to do with it? Let's understand. If I get all of you to a 750 score, and I show you exactly how to do this, okay, in 90 working days, what do you do if you score now? All right, you're basically what, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old? Okay, you've tried so many times for business, you kind of failed. All right, what happened? You got knocked down, your friends and family ripped you off, or you did the wrong thing. Without structure, finance, and dream, it's not going to happen. So as we do this, let's understand something today. If I get you to a 750, what do you do? What do you do? Understand something. Your score is great. All right, you got to take care of your family. No problem. Well, the bottom line is maybe you're looking to buy a car, a house today. I'd like you to think about restructuring the things you do today, restructuring. So again, as we begin this today, it's very simple. It's educational content only, not here to give legal, tax, or financial advice. Results may vary based on when you put in it. We always have a little disclaimer. If you need to call the office today, here's a phone number for you. So every one of you have the number. And the bottom line is very simple. As we do this, you can understand what to be done next. Now, if I get you to 750, what does this mean? Well, in 1977, I helped set up the credit system a little bit on basically utilization process. In other words, I was a consultant for TRW. TRW basically stood the reports wrong. I was a consultant for Ken Yarborough. He was security chief at TRW. I came up with a couple rules and tools. Number one, I came up with fluctuation. Card should have a sticky. Back then it was a little dot. We had it to school, no problem. Little dot, sticky. From there, these cards don't fluctuate, but these do. If it's utilization problem, understand utilization. A, you can look at your credit score and see if you can increase the limits. Increase the limits, open the gap. If not, we can line you up with the rapid rescore. Let's write down rapid rescore for all of us, okay? Rapid rescore was created back in 77, 78, 79. People were in escrows. Problem in the escrows, they had a problem. All right, number one, back then they could forfeit your deposit if you couldn't close escrow. So it's like, well, what happened? Well, we came up with a couple of things and programs for there to help people. Well, A was basically gifted money. Gifted money was very important, but I called it granny money at the beginning. No one liked the word granny money. I figured everybody's got a granny to give them some money, close an escrow, right? But they didn't like granny money. Okay, no problem. So what happened, very simple, we came up with a couple of things. Let's write it down. We came up with the oldest credit card. Write that down. We came up with 29% rule. That's base utilization. All right, that's very simple. Oldest card, utilization 20% below. And from there, we did rapid rescore and granny money. It's very simple. So the main thing is that we also came up with 6 inquiries every 180 days. If you write down a rapid rescore today, what happens is very simple. A rapid rescore would block your crap, push your score up. So for those who had the low scores, is it because of the utilization process? Is it collection process? Okay, is there something hitting you or your late payments as well? So you got to rebuild yourself like Humpty Dumpty. So rapid rescore can block the crap, push your score up. Why would you want to do that? A, it creates green lights. What do green lights give us? More credit. See, I'm sorry, but it's going to take money or credit to solve your problem if you have a deterioration problem in your credit score. If you're jacked up on the card, increase the limit, pay it down. Increase the limit, pay it down. But if we had a rapid rescore, we could block the crap and push the score up and basically utilization. Maybe you want me to position you for a SoFi loan or maybe a Navy or something like this as well to reduce your debt to ratio. You see, the goal is after you get to 750 score, what do you do next? What do you do next? What if you have a bankruptcy, Marty, if it was 2 years of bad, who cares? But is it a 13, you're in a payment plan. In a 13, you can go around it as well if you need to. I'd say a division of MIA then. So what happens? You had bankruptcy, it is a past bankruptcy that was filed, and it's discharge. So again, we have to analyze that process. See, you can reposition yourself, every one of you can. So it's like today, if I had an LLC or a corporation, I could have a division of myself. A division of me lets me have new credit. I could use that to reduce my debt ratio over here. I could solve problems. See, I don't think anybody should file bankruptcy, in my opinion, unless they're losing their house, okay, or they're basically getting their payroll garnished. There's no reason for the bankruptcy. Unfortunately, a lot of people file it because they go to a bankruptcy attorney. The bankruptcy attorney says bankruptcy because that's what they sell. If you went to an ice cream place, they sell ice cream, got it? That's what happens. So again, what do? If we look at things that we're trying to accomplish today, for instance, what is your credit score? We have to understand that. If you'd like me to analyze your credit score for you and I can give you a report, that's okay too. We can show you how to do this as well. Or as we, someone says, give out a shout out. Well, good morning everybody. I'm going to miss your name. If you have a question or two, you might have to type it 1 or 2 times because it scrolls pretty fast. People coming in and out, no problem. Keep in mind one thing, you should stay in line and focus what you're trying to do. So if you're 40 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 20 or 30, what are you trying to do next? If you want your credit score to go up, it's not hard to do, but you have to do a couple things. If you like today, you can get some of my free books. I've written 67 books so far. I have other books being audited and basically audited and edited right now. So if you want other things as you get through the process, you can get that too. So winning the credit game is pretty important. As I helped set up the system in 77, while I'm training Kenny Orwell, that was kind of fun. Remember, we came with oldest credit card. That's history. Okay, now these amateurs talk about this. All right, 29% rule means everything basically today should have a sticky in the back of the card. Sticky. This is a $10,000 credit card, 10 grand. Okay, I'm going to remind myself I can't use more than $2,100. If I use more than $2,900, it would now be in the yellow. 50% is in the red. So we have to keep it below 29%. Always maintain 10 to 15% on your cards at all times. You have a lot of silly circus clowns out there saying pay it off every week, pay it every month. So you understand. If you pay off your credit card weekly or monthly, whatever it is, all right, the creditor didn't make any money. They're going to shrink your limit and not give you more credit for you or the corporation as well. See, they have to make a little bit of money on you. If you don't like it, sorry, this is the way it works. So keeping 10% makes sense at littlest, at least to 15. But what do? If we need to rebuild our credit, we do that as well. If you need to wrap or rescore, okay, it's very important to us as we understand wrap or rescore, as we position ourselves to get a 750 score. Thank you, joining the fan club. I'm just going to tell you the truth and what I did set up. Now, after I set it up, I felt guilty. Believe it or not, I felt guilty. I felt, what about counterbalance? See, I've been studying the law and county since I was a kid, literally. I wanted out of hell. I'm one of those, crappy stories that born in a taxi, put in a trash can, eat out of a trash can, it sucks as a kid. I found myself at the library hiding and reading, so what I did. So what happened when I became a consultant years later in 77, that was kind of fun as well. See, the bottom line is they thought I was older anyway because I kind of fibbed when I was a kid. I had to pick up my Lamborghini at an auction. So I borrowed a birth certificate, got a driver's license when I was 14 and a half. It said I was 21, had a beard at 12. Anyway, they couldn't figure out my age, kind of fun. So again, what do? So in 77, we basically did one thing. Okay, in 1977, it was basically oldest credit card. Oldest card. 29% rule. That means you'd have 29% below, it's green. 30 is yellow, 50 is red. So what do we do from there? All right, wrap or rescore. Back then we came with rapid scoring because we had to do something during an escrow. So when you're in escrow, you're not supposed to get inquiries. Or you're not supposed to screw it all up. So what happens? Very simple, as we play this game to win. What happens next? What do? Rapid rescore is what we had to do because in escrow, we couldn't screw it up during the Fair Lending Act. And it was important to us. So again, we had to reposition credit back then, 70s and 80s. So you had to pay down a debt to ratios, they do a rapid rescore to get the better interest rate on the loan. And that's why it worked. So again, thank you for the loves and everything else you give too. I appreciate that. So again, oldest card, all right, 28% utilization, okay, wrap or rescore. And then I came up with the word granny money. No one liked granny money. I don't know why. I liked it, okay? And I'm taking notes, thanks. Well, take all the notes you can, please. If today your score was low, like I said to the people that said their scores were like 500, whatever. The worst score I had to deal with during pandemic was a 240. He just came out of prison. So what happens, I have a prison program as well. I help people rebuild their credit for real. Since I set up the system as a consultant for TRW years and years ago, I kind of know more than most people do anyway, and I've been a coach for 50 years. I'm online several times during the day, Monday through Friday, and Saturday I have classes all day. And I invite most people for free for all of it. Kind of fun. I don't need your 20 bucks a month to be in a school kind of crap. I watch these clients who buy books of mine and they go out there to be coaches. I don't understand coaches, okay? It's a bunch of hooey as far as I'm concerned, so the bottom line is going to be up to you if you want to play the game. So again, personal card, I'm suggesting put a sticky, okay? I'm suggesting do that correctly. 29% rule or below, stay 10 minimum to 15%, so they can make a little bit of money off you. Because you want to get basically like this. This is a $50,000 card, 50 grand, okay? All right, what happens if we have my Venture One? My Venture One's 30,000. So here's 80,000 just on the 2 cards. Kind of fun. But what do we do from there? Very simple. My X card's 100 grand. But again, they look at utilization. They look at the truth. That's how it works. So what happens for all of us, we can learn how to play the game. Remember, these cards don't fluctuate. I would tell everybody to get a gold and a platinum American Express card because they do not fluctuate. They don't have a utilization problem. All of the cards do. See, what happens to most of you, if your score is low, you might have jacked it up because you had an emergency, lost your job or situation. If we use these cards during a rainy day, blankety blank day, month, a year, so what happens very simple is for all of us. This here is 100,000 of credit. It's ridiculous, but again, I have 300,000 of personal credit. What does this mean? Out of $100,000, I don't use it and abuse it. There's nothing wrong with this because it's safety. I have $71,000 of safety anytime I need it in case I have that rainy day kind of thing, like you. See, you jacked up the wrong card. If you had $71,000 of safety and you had a bad day, week, month, or year, you can get out of hell. Because being in credit hell is no fun. It's no fun for any of us. So as we do this game, let's play my way a little bit. So if I have this credit here, but understand, a lot of, I would call circus clowns, I see it online all the time. They talk about American Express cards. Great. They talk about points. They talk about what they have. They have this background that says $950,000. It's a bunch of hooey, okay? It's a bunch of crap. American Express, anytime you try to use your card for $25,000 or more, personal or business, they put you through a financial review. Financial review. So what happens is they want to log into your bank account. They want to verify it's you. So that's what happens. See, for my bank accounts, it's very simple. I control millions and billions of dollars. Okay, if you'd like to join the club, you can do that too. It's called the Puppet Master Club. What happens is very simple. For instance, when they did it, basically wanted to review last month. All right, here is Ray's credit, $270,000, $270, petty cash account. This is the petty cash account. This is $71,000, the other petty cash account. All right, from there we have the other petty cash account here. It's $56,000. So when they wanted to audit and wanted to do a review for me and the corporations that I control, it wasn't hard to do. So they just look in the bank account. They called up, said, can we log in your bank account? So fine. Got an email, got a phone call. They log in the account, simple. See, most of these circus clowns are lying to you about their utilization. They're lying about what to do and all this. It's just making up crap. So if you have an American Express card, gold or platinum, keep in mind, they will, when you use a certain amount, they want to audit you. Or they do what call financial review. So be careful with the fee review. So what happens is very simple. For my clients, they want to do something like this, okay, which is auto income. I help them because I become one of their CFOs. I actually lose accounts with them and for them to close escrows because we become CFOs and working together on a project. So what happens for you today? This is what I would tell you to do personally, okay? I would personally want to look at your score for me. If you allow me to look at your score, I'll look at that. We're going to have basically a process to do things. If today you took your utility bill and your credit card, you were automatic payment. That's what I tell you to do, auto pay. Now, the next thing is, for TRW, I wrote a program for TRW years ago. Remember, they became Experian in '96. We called it Fast Pay, Quick Pay. If you take your credit card payment, your automatic payment, you're paperless on that utility bill and everything else. You would call this phone number and get off the national mailing list. The phone number, 888-567-8688, that is how you get off the national mailing list for the last 50 years. The national mailing list. See, you're being sold on the dark web all the time. You allow this to happen to you because you don't understand what you're doing anyway. I'm sorry, I think you're doing a lot of amateur stuff. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. Hopefully you don't hate me. You know, it's okay. I tell you the truth, and it helps set you free. So what do? If you call this number, you opt out for 5 years or a lifetime. So again, what do? 5 years or a lifetime. Now you're not off the national mailing list. Sorry, I stutter once in a while. So you're off the national mailing list. And that's important to all of us. So we don't want to be sold on the dark web. So again, what we would do? Very simple. If we need the books, they're in there for you. This is starting out right for the kids and for you as well. Learn how it works. Simple. Starting out right is free. Simple. It's a download in the link tree. If you can't find anything, you call the office in a couple hours. They'll help you find everything you're looking for anyway. So it's very simple as we play this game to win. Now, winning the credit game. When I actually helped Ken Yorba years ago, 70s and 80s, part of the 90s, and became a spirit in 96, I felt guilty, so I came up with a book called Prove It or Remove It. See, we don't do credit repair here. We'll help you rebuild yourself. We'll help you every step, but again, we won't do credit repair. Credit repair is a fraud, okay? A credit repair company is supposed to be licensed and bonded with the Attorney General's office. They're supposed to be a non-profit organization with a 501c3 exemption, and they're not supposed to collect money up front. And all these hooey people go, I'm gonna repair your credit. See, my magic wand's broken. It doesn't work. It's kind of bad. So there's no magic wand. If you have bad credit and you're a creditor, don't rip off your creditor, okay? Don't be a crook. When you're a crook, you don't pay your bills. What happens is very simple. Then you wonder why God won't open doors for you. I think it's because you haven't fixed yourself or put yourself on track. But that's just up to you as well. Good morning. People like me, I said my credit score is 650. All three, I don't have a corporation. I have to wait years for the use to take it off. Okay. Well, the reality is not true. If today you would basically do what's called a rapid rescore. The rapid rescore it blocks crap. It kind of like seals your crap is what it does. It puts your scores up. You don't have to wait 2 years for anything. You can do it now, but again, it's going to be up to you. See, I'll teach you how to do it yourself. So my programs have always been simple. You do, we do, I do. In other words, if you want my paralegals to help you, they can do that too. So you're not stuck unless you want to be stuck. All right, that's like, playing the poor me, poor me, poor me. No. We don't play poor me at all. Today, if you wanted $1 million of credit, the difference is that's a little crazy because you don't need that much, right? You would want to do things to position yourself. So I would tell you flat out, let's do this, so understand, okay? All right, what is your Raise Special program? Well, I had a special program for people that allowed them, I do certain things for them, okay? So how do you know about that program? Okay, your sister, okay? She's a client from what, last year? Okay. So here's a program that I had last year. It's very simple. What I would do is ask what the credit score is. And when someone spent $1,000, what I would do personally is I'd put in a call with them and myself for an hour. You know, if they were married, if they're part of life, okay? And then I'd analyze their credit score. I'd analyze it simple up front, and I'd be adding history to it, okay? I would rebuild their credit with them or for them. I would do a rapid rescore. I'd hand them $10,000 in new credit. Okay, and the bottom is they use that $10,000 to get in some kind of coaching program. That was what your sister did. Okay, right now my schedule is pretty full. I'm almost sold out. Okay, I have 2 openings. That's about it. So just to let you know, since you're asking the question, I'll answer your question for you. Very simple. I have 2 openings in my schedule, and that's it. And I'm sold out pretty much for now. You see how it works for the year? How it works. So guess what? You want me to repeat that? Okay. All right, for $1,000, I did a blueprint call, and I personally got on the phone with them for an hour. She was married, so I did with her husband as well. I analyzed her credit, not his, hers. I added history, did rapid rescore. I gave them $10,000 of credit. So I put $10,000 of credit on their file because their credit kind of sucks and their limits were terrible. They had all these crappy little cards like most people do. Okay, I want a credit card that's big. You know, 5,000, 10,000, up and away. That's what we did. So I put a refresh together, 10,000 credit. They used the 10,000, your sister got into coaching. Yes, she told me about that. Okay, no problem. So that's the program, okay? But it was $1,000, simple, 10,000 of credit. All right, from there, rapid rescore, credit rebuilding, add history, and we had an hour phone call with them, all right, even with their husband listening on the side, and it was having fun. That's what happens. See, most of you men have been trying to run a business or start a business, and 97% of you fail because you don't have structure. Structure builds finance and dream. Structure has always been finance and dream. What happens? You don't have the structure of the finance. I mean, can you imagine today what you're trying to do? What you're trying to do, most of you, has never been done before. Okay? What does that mean? Let's understand something. No rich and famous person on planet Earth took their corporation and started a business. Their corporation owned businesses. I mean, I don't understand. When someone says get all these 5 LLCs or this and that, it's a bunch of clown stuff. You see, they even told you 4 weeks ago through the system, Criminal Investigation Department, federal government, they're going to audit people that have corporations in other states. Audit them in other states. So again, without the structure, finance, and dream, it's a joke. You can't do what you're trying to do in the first place. 97% of you are going to fail. You've done that in the past. Most men have screwed up 4 or 5 times, and the wife's going, is it going to work? Is it going to work? She's praying it works this time because you've tried different things to do things for long term. Long term is what you should think about. Structure, finance, and dream. What happens? Very simple. So our personal credit. Download the books for free. If you want to get into one of those programs, I have 2 openings. Simple. Since you brought it up, I'll offer it today. If you don't do it, it's okay. Then you just do what you need to do for you. So $1,000. Okay? You and I will be on the phone for an hour. We're going to blueprint you. I'm going to give you 10,000 in credit. I'm going to rapid rescore you. I'm going to basically block all your crap. I'm going to make my paralegals actually dispute anything verification process for that $1,000. I'm going to give you 10,000 in credit for you to take the 10,000. I want you to go into a coaching program in the near future. But that's up to you as well. That's why I designed it for that purpose. See, a lot of people go, I'm stuck. What do I do? What do I do? Okay? You get unstuck. When you're trying to take a corporation or an LLC today to run a business, no one's ever done this. It's kind of dumb. I mean, let's look. Every rich and famous person, all right, literally have corporations owning corporations. That's what they do. It's like the division process. You're trying to invent something that's never been done. That's why you keep failing. It doesn't make any sense. I got my LLC. Goody for you. Oh, there's 15.3% employment tax. Who cares? You haven't made any damn money. Who cares? Let your kids work there. Let your husband work. Stop. I've never seen so much clowns in my life. Let's write up the Rolex. No. Let's write up the haircut. No. Let's write up the chef at home. No. Let's write up the wedding. I talk about dumb. I've never used so much crap in my life. I've been studying the law in the county since I could walk practically. See, I just needed a necessity. I wanted to have hell. I didn't like hell. You see, being born in a taxi sucks. Or you didn't have a trash can sucks. Being homeless sucks. I didn't like any of that crap. So the bottom line is very simple. It's up to you. As you go through this process, you can learn to win the game of business. Now, again, what do we do in the beginning? Because more people came in. What happens? You just keep scrolling. Stop it. Your goal should be slow down, focus, how you want to change your life if you want to, but it's going to be up to you. See, you're in control. You keep hiring ding-dongs they let you down all the time. You've hired so many people in your life that have ripped you off, your friends, family, and you got knocked down so many times. It's ridiculous. Why do you keep doing the same dumb thing? I don't understand. Hey, you're 75 to what, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 in there? You've done the same thing for every time in your life. It's like a rerun. Every day. Yesterday, the day before, and the day before, the same thing. Until you understand structure, finance, and dream, it's a joke. Structure builds finance and dreams. But again, it's up to you. I mean, I like having millions of dollars of credit. I like that. It makes sense to me. All right, because I have a backup for a backup. I like the fact that I'm an affiliate, all right, with literally millions and millions of dollars of credit. I like the truth because, again, here's over 1,200 cards just in my lap. How much would you like? I mean, let's cut to the chase. If you don't build finance and dream, it's a bunch of crap. Okay, I'm sorry. Finance and dream help you get where you want to go, but your problem is your lack of knowledge. This is why you bring the pain home. Why did you screw up your business? You ran out of money. Why did you screw up your opportunity? You ran out of money. Why did you screw up your opportunity again? You ran out of money. You didn't have the money to get the honey. So what happens is you didn't have the finance, structure, and dream. Every one of you do the same silly thing all the time. I don't get it. I mean, Chase has these beautiful cards. They're $50,000 each. They're called inks. There's no interest for 22 months. I love that, up to 22 months. And then what? They don't show up on personal file. So what do you keep doing? Even their personal cards up to 22 months. So if you don't learn to play the game and win, well, whose problem is that? You keep screwing up because you have no structure, finance, and dream. You want to make sure you have what? Your LLC, 5 of those suckers. If I had 5 LLCs in California, that's $5,000 franchise tax fee per year. That's called dumb. You need one structure and divisions process to design in the first place, but it's up to you. If you don't want to get $1 million, then I'm not the guy for you. Okay? If you don't want $100,000 income for the month, I'm not the guy for you. Well, you want to hear some other circus clown. See, I've been doing this for 50 damn years, 6 days a week. Where the hell you been? I write checks and radio and TV for 50 years. That's how it works. But I decided to try TikTok 20 weeks ago. I got 66,000 followers in 20 weeks or so. Okay, good. How am I doing? So if you want to rebuild yourself, let's understand something today. All right? This is basically simple education content only, not legal, tax, financial advice. The results may vary because I don't know if you're friggin' lazy. Okay? If you're lazy, you're not going to make it. When you call the office, 800-254-9506, be assigned to a specialist. Specialist. Now, I have 2 openings, and then you brought it because your sister got into it. There's your future. Take a damn picture. Okay? I mean, this is your whole problem with all of you. I'm sorry with you. Okay? Okay? Your problem is you. Okay? Here's structure and finance and dream. This is structure, finance, and dream. But what happens with you, you go, wee, let's scroll, let's watch the clowns, wee, all the way home. Thank you for the loves. I love that. What does this mean? If we build structure, finance, and dream, I would put you in a class or basically workshops with you with me, and most of those are free anyway, unless you got in private coaching. But this is how you play your game for you. So what I would tell you flat out, okay, you would have your LLC in 18 divisions. Now, you don't need 18, or you can basically only have 3. 3 divisions, what does that do for you? 3 divisions creates what? One thing, okay? 3 divisions, and I have 3 of these cards right here. There's 300,000. 300,000, each one's 100,000 each, because I can verify, all right, my petty cash accounts on a monthly basis, but I can verify millions and billions of dollars all the time. Because I became a corporate structure billionaire at 21 years old, because hell, I wanted to. Here's 300,000. That's 30,000 a month income if you did it this way. If I had 6 divisions, that's 600,000. That's very simple. What does that give me? It gives me 60,000 a month. If I had 9 divisions for finance, again, that's 600,000 of credit. Okay, that's 900,000 of credit, and now it's 100,000 a month. You see, what happens is very simple. If you could finance the dream, for every division you have, you'd probably buy a Wendy's restaurant, a Jack in the Box, a storage unit, laundromat, a car wash. You would buy something that creates auto income. You'd become the investor and become the bank. Unfortunately, you do what you do, and it sucks. Is that terrible to tell you the truth? I don't like what you do because you bring the pain home. As a kid, I didn't have a mommy and daddy. I got the pain. I got to eat in a trash can. I got to be homeless, and I got to fight to get out of hell because I didn't like being used and abused. It sucked. I went to the library every freaking day, study. I love school. I think learning is great. And a lot of ding-dongs say it doesn't make sense to me. Thank you for joining the fan club. I mean, the bottom line for you is simple. You're trying to create something that doesn't exist. Every one of you, it's ridiculous. You want me to repeat things? Okay, I will. Understand. Let's first say, all right, respect. Well, bottom line is we have to respect everybody. You're trying to use a LLC or a corporation or CS corporation, and you're trying to create something that doesn't exist. No rich and famous person has ever allowed their parent company to do business. It doesn't do that. It's not how it works. You're trying to do that for your parent company, and you're trying to invent something that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It never has. When I set up my credit score 650, I don't have collections, everything clean. I brought the car back in January, sucker deal, or my credit score were 600. Now they're in my, well, you got a sucker deal because you did it. Come on. You went to the car dealership. Cars are marked up 60%, okay? They have this Isaac 8 credit report. You know car dealerships are damn crooks, okay? They're all crooks. You sit there, you let them sweat you for 5 hours, and that's wrong. And then they ran your credit 6 to 7 times because you gave them permission to run your credit. If you would have put on that piece of paper when you gave them permission, this allows 1 inquiry, and you signed it, took a picture, and then they go, I can't, no, it said, walk away. You're allowed to do anything you want, please. They won't let you walk away. You could have controlled the inquiry base. But you have a problem with all of you, you answer the questions wrong. What payment could you afford? How dumb could you be to say whatever it might be? I mean, come on. They sized you up, and you fell for it. What credit report, Isaac 8, they made up a report for you, and they screwed you up, and you allowed this? This is ridiculous. What payment can you afford? I mean, that's ridiculous. $100. See, you got to get them to fight for the deal, but you got suckered into it. They suckered you into it. You got 9 inquiries. Oh, we can afford $700 a month. That's the dumbest answer you ever gave. What do? They figure out position the loans and all the interest rate. You just gave them a way to rip you off. Every one of you buy cars wrong. It should be fleet price, tax ID, and division. Unfortunately, you do it wrong anyway. Sorry, I just think that's wrong. I have basically classes on Saturday at level 3. We teach how to buy cars, fleet price, tax ID division. See, the goal would be for you to learn how to play the game. Unfortunately, you're not doing this. So let's understand something. If you today, okay, have your LLC, you have 5 of these suckers, they're going to audit you if they're out of state. They announced that 3 weeks ago. This is the Crimes Investigation Department. Crimes, okay? Then what are they going to do? Audit the hell out of you. If you have one LLC, okay, no problem. The LLC is the limited liability company. LLCs were created off sole proprietor. Sole proprietor became an LLC. Okay, now you get a tax ID. But the problem with you, or you're thinking about these clowns out there, it's 15.3% employment tax. You haven't made any damn money. Who gives a damn? Who really cares about the unemployment tax? You haven't made any money yet. When you do start making money, that C Corp, or that LLC is going to become an S, because I said so. But again, I'm just going to give you my opinion. All LLCs making money should become S, so there's no unemployment tax. You get to decide your paycheck, reasonable paycheck to pay your damn bills. The LLC always should be S Corp, because basically it's the best way you can do. If you're a lousy bookkeeper, no one can give you crap. Even the IRS can't give you crap. It sorts it all out for you. So it's like the C Corp double tax. That's called dumb. It has to be an S Corp. S Corp, you maintain that to 3 to 5 million, because that's what you should do. But you're trying to change the world. Fantastic. You're going to let your LLC be the business. Fantastic. No rich and famous person has ever allowed their parent company to do business. You're trying to invent something that doesn't exist at all. Congratulations. No one's done it before. Maybe you'll make it work. Maybe. I doubt it. So understand something. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game. I know this will be backwards. All right. Bottom line is this. This is called winning the game of business. I wrote this when I was 15 years old. 15. I already have $1 million in the bank. I invented something called Car Finder. They bought my patent and gave me a license. All right, no problem. $1 million in the bank, driving a Lamborghini Countach, Owens Coast College part-time. Hell, I never went to high school. We wasted my damn time. Bam, bam, bam. See, I'm the guy that's not full of crap. But you can play my way, you can play your way. Keep doing your way. How's it working for you? I mean, I created my first $1 million as a kid, billion structure by the time I was 21 years old. Billion with a B. But this is up to you. I love this stuff. It's fun. I've been having fun on TikTok for 20 weeks now. All right. Great, let's play. You take your corporation doing business. Sorry, no rich and famous person's ever done that. Ever. You're inventing something that doesn't exist. You take your LLC when it starts to make money, and don't worry about that unemployment, 15.3, blah, 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 crap. You convert it to S. S! Because you're allowed to. Thank you for joining the fan club, S Corp. Can you imagine an S Corporation? Hey, good morning, Mark. How you doing? And good morning, all you other people. That's great stuff. Let's have some fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Okay. All right. Thank you, Ray, and appreciate it. It's going to show on my X Platinum, whatever that means. Okay. So what happens is very simple, okay? If we had structure and finance and trading, we can win the game. Okay. Now, you wanted me to repeat what I said about that private thing I did last year. Okay. Thank you for joining the club. It's very simple. So very simple. I wrote it down today, but it would be backwards. I want to make sure I did it because you emailed me earlier yesterday too. So here's what it is. What's your credit score? What I do, very simple, I would look at your credit reports personally myself. Okay? I would analyze it, but I'd add all kinds of pieces to it. I'd analyze your credit score. Okay, I would blueprint you. I'd spend an hour with you on the phone with your partner of life if you have one. Up to an hour, no problem. We'd blueprint you. I'd analyze your credit. I'd basically put you in the analyzation process. I'd do a wrap or rescore. Block all your crap, push your score up, and help you position yourself maybe for Navy, SoFi, reduce your debt to ratio, no problem. So wrap or rescore would be there. Your credit score is going to go up and away to about 750 by the time we're done. Now, I also put $10,000 of credit on that credit report for you. I need you $10,000 credit. I get you a card or a couple cards. So basically what we're going to do is credit up to 10 grand. But I charge $1,000 to do that, okay? So again, $1,000, you're stuck with me. Okay, there's only 2 openings anyway, so you brought it up. I want to make sure I brought my calendar because I knew you were going to be here today asking again. Here's my calendar. I have 2 openings, that's it. So 2 of you, if you wanted today, you could get into that one he asked because he wanted to get into himself, so there'll be 1 position available after we're done. So what does this mean? So for $1,000, I'm on the phone with you personally up to 1 hour. Basically, one thing I'm happen to do is I'm going to blueprint you. That means I'm going to set you up for past, present, future because I want to get you here. I'd like to get you here. As I build you that 10,000 of credit, use part of that to go into a coaching program with me as well for long term, but it's up to you as well. So I add history to you. My history, I add to the file. Okay, no problem. I do the rapid rescore to block your crap, push your score up. That's what we do, adding history. Okay? From there, that's cash credit, so you can use part of it in the future to get into other coaching programs if you want to. So again, look at the score, $10,000. I wish I would quit stuttering today, damn it keeps screwing me up. See, I have a couple of problems. My brain works too fast. Okay, they told me it was a kid to smoke pot or drink wine. I didn't want to do either one. I have an IQ off the friggin' chart. Okay, I have recall in most things, and I rub both hands talk at the same time. How's that? So I stutter once in a while. So you can do it with my stutter and re-correcting myself, okay? Let me know. It's okay with you. It's okay with me. It's the way it works. Okay. Now, if you have the 840 score, that's great. Let's spend the hour to blueprint you anyway. See, the goal is this. Let's understand. A blueprint call is for someone who wants to get into coaching for long term in an auto income business. Auto income. Auto income, that's what the goal should be. But again, 80% of you need to rebuild your credit the right way. So is it possible for me to get 5,000 to 10,000 in credit? All right, emergency only. Well, you'd have the credit for whatever you want to use it for, okay? I look at it this way, to answer your question. My wife and our cards, here's my wife's cards right here. I bring them all the time. Here's my cards, okay? We maintain an 846. Our credit is buoyant as can be. We are CFOs for corporations, and we control millions and billions of dollars all the time, millions and billions, okay? So let's look at my wife's cards, okay? She has a venture for 50,000. He has a 10,000. She has these cards right here. Remember, gold and platinums are great, but they're going to do a review if you want to spend more than $25,000. They want to log into a bank account and see transaction base. And maybe they can show even the petty cash last month was $400,000 in petty cash. So I had no problem to verify that for my wife and myself, and I actually help that with my clients as well sometimes. So here what happens. So what do? This is safety. This gives my wife 100,000 of credit. She doesn't have to use it or abuse it. But that's 71,000 of safety in case she has no blankety blank day, month, or year. Same thing for me. So here's my set. So what do? All right, we don't have joint credit because that makes dumb. Nobody should have joint credit. It's dumb, okay? So what happens? We control corporations and all the processes from there. When I was controlling $2.2 billion in real estate, I had over 1,013 divisions alone. See, division process is what should be done, but it's up to you as well. If you don't do it my way, sorry, just keep it your way. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. If you follow TikTok and social media, it's great. Look at the clowns, look at the clowns. I don't like clowns. I don't like a bunch of hooey, I like the truth. That's why I've been doing classes for 6 days a week, literally for 50 years, online for people, usually for free, just to help them out in what structure. See, when I set up the credit system, and I can't say I set up the whole thing, I'm a consultant for TRW is what I meant. From there, I'm training Ken Yarborough. That's it. The rules are simple. In the 70s, we put the oldest credit card, okay, 29% rule, okay? And from there, what do? Well, we had to have a problem. See, 29% means it's green on any card. If it's 30, it's yellow. If it's 50, it's red. No one's telling you the rules and tools and the truth. They're not telling you the truth. These are books you can download for free in the link tree just to help you. It's simple. We want to really help you. Well, that's the difference, because I'm not going to charge you $20 a month and yeah. I watch circus clowns and buy my books. They think they're doing something good. It's just a bunch of crap, in my opinion. But again, what do? I'm old school, future school, and new school. Future. Why? I studied a lot of accounting the whole life and do it all the time. If we do this correctly, what do? Oldest card, 29% rule on all cards. I'd like you to maintain 10 minimum to 15% on a card. The reason you want to maintain something on a card, that creditor needs to make some money off you. If you don't make money off you, they're going to shrink your limit. And when you go for corporate credit, they're not going to give you big lines of credit at all. See, they got to make a little bit of money off you. So these clowns ain't paid off every week, every month. That's crap. Right? When you want the big card, they're not going to give it to you. Ask them if they have a $50,000 venture card or $100,000 or X. They don't. It's a bunch of hooey. Ask them if they really have these cards or they have pretend crap behind the screen. I'll show you the damn card. But then I'll show you the actual petty cash account for last month. See, when American Express wanted to review accounts last month, no problem. I mean, here's 270,000. Okay, here's $71,000 in the other petty cash. Okay, here's the other one for $56,000. So these people say these American Express cards, Gold and Platinums, most of them are full of crap. Right? Why? Because they don't have the verification for the ways to get you through the process of the review. American Express reviews everybody trying to get past 20, 25,000 of credit to look at bank accounts and look at real stuff. They do that. I've watched over 16 people lose their Chase cards and shrink their cards because we get told to pay off every month. Who were you told by? Some clown? Oh yeah, well, you listen to somebody who did what, bought my books 20 years ago? It's ridiculous. I've been teaching and preaching for 50 years. I helped set up the system. So you might want to talk about the real person who actually did it and how to do it right, but it's up to you again. Your problem is you keep doing the wrong thing. I'm sorry, you do. I don't understand. Then back to about the 70s and 80s, people had to close an escrow, real people. See, what happened back then, if you had money in an escrow buying a house, if you didn't go through the house, they get to forfeit your deposit. Ay, ay, ay. So I came up with what's called granny money. All right, they didn't like granny money. I liked granny. I mean, it made sense. Doesn't everybody have a granny? I didn't have one, but maybe they have one. They call it gifted money. So again, what do? This is 70s and 80 all the way through 81. Oldest card, 28% rule. All right, wrap a rescore, granny money, and don't get more than 6 inquiries every 180 days. Every 180 days. So it's like anything else. The reason you want your credit up is why? Why do you want your credit to score up? Buy a house, buy a car? Or do you want to start a business? Or did you screw up your credit by starting the business? You're trying to do something that doesn't exist. It does not exist. I don't get it. You're trying to take a corporation and start a business or an LLC. All right, no rich and famous person has ever done that. It's not possible. Because you become the duck and sheep every time. They sue you, they screw your family, and they sue your spouse too, and you make what? Screw up everything? I understand. Why would you try to do something that's never been done on planet Earth for rich and famous? Don't do it at all. They don't let their corporation do business. They own companies. They own companies. I mean, haven't you watched the world today? I mean, do you like doing dumb or something? I don't get it. Thanks for joining the fan club. It's just the truth. It's like today, okay? In my busy schedule, I had one of you ask because you asked and emailed me because your sister got a program. I have 2 openings. That's it, 2 openings. What does that mean for you? If you want me, seriously, to spend up to 1 hour on the phone with you, okay? Thank you for the cowboy hat. That's great. Okay, thank you. If you want an hour of my time, an hour, okay? And if we had to break it down in pieces, we can do that too. That hour of time. I'm going to put you in a rapid rescore. I'm going to build you 10,000 credit. That's what I'm going to do, 10,000 credit. I'm going to add history to you. I'm going to position you the right way, line it for Navy or maybe a SoFi to reduce your debt to ratio. But I charge you $1,000 to do that. So that $1,000 is your best investment because you're stuck with me up to an hour. Rapid rescore. I blueprint you, line you up for a coaching process, and I do a rapid rescore and I give you 10,000 credit. Hopefully you use part of that credit to get into a coaching program with me. But it's up to you. There's only 2 openings anyway. So to answer your question, okay? Bill wanted me to answer the question because his sister got in the program last year. I got 2 openings. It's simple. So if you want to spend $1,000 this morning, you can. It's not on the link tree. It's none of that. It's because it's something I did last year. $1,000, blueprint call up to an hour. Analyze your credit score. Okay, I personally do it with you and go over that process with you. Adding credit history, rebuild you paralegals, and do a rapid rescore. And then I hand you 10,000 in credit. So you get $1,000. You get 10 times your money back, and you get all that knowledge in the first place. You're stuck with me. You want the call? Well, again, it's very simple. Okay, I tell you to have to sell it because it's not on the link tree, and the sales team don't sell that. Again, you asked the question, I'm doing that. So it's very simple. It would be a Zelle payment. That's how it works about for this situation. I only need to have 2 openings anyway, okay? Now, they're going to call the office and I want them to sell it. See, the sales team's great. I love my specialists, but they're on commission. I mean, I'm giving it away like I did the last year for privately, and if you call them, they're going to make a commission. They have to jack up the price. How many times a year do you get openings? This is my last year. Congratulations. You got in the last year. I made a promise when I was 7 years old to help people for 50 years. On March 8th, I turned 66. This is my last year. I'm training other people to do what I do. Our junior and senior coaches. Thank you for the hearts, okay? Appreciate that. So how many years? No. This is my last year. I'm going to go on business trips. I've done my 6 days a week for 50 years. Nobody's did what I did, and guess what? If you showed up late, that's your problem, not mine. Don't want to be rude, but it's true. So get it now, or put it off. You'll get it'll be okay. The other coaches will help you. Or you won't get the original, that's okay. You're not getting that on TikTok and social media anyway. You're not getting original, you're getting crap. You're getting Ground, who bought my books 20 years ago. You get Ryan, who bought my books 18 years ago. Blah, blah, I'm a coach. I gave myself a magic wand. I went to school, and I love school. I've been studying, math and what? Accounting and law my whole life. Have to. So again, I think school is great, learning all the time. But again, you control what you learn in school, what you need to do for you. It's up to you as well. So again, 2 of you today, if you Zelled $1,000, you get the last 2 positions. If you don't, it's okay. Right? Why? Because I wasn't going to offer it anyway. Again, it was asked because I had to answer the question. No problem at all. So again, for that $1,000 Zelle payment only, okay, all right, or you have to use a card, which didn't have to charge you 5%. I don't want to do that either. Then I'm going to do basically a blueprint call up to an hour. I'm going to basically add history. I'm going to do a rapid rescore. I'm going to basically have them paralegals dispute everything you have, verify it all, position you up to basically Navy, maybe a SoFi loan to reduce debt to ratio if you need that. From there, then I'm going to hand you $10,000 in credit. I'm going to give you 10 times your investment, and that's how it works. 10 times investment. So again, in the link tree, there's a way to actually buy a product, but again, that's not in there because I don't advertise that. That was more of a private thing I did for private people as well. How long does the process take? Well, how long are we going to take you to listen? I always say 90 working days. Anybody can put their score up to 90 working days back on track if they do what they're told to do. Will you do what you're told to do, or you drag your feet? I don't drag my feet, okay? So again, it's up to you. How long will it take you to do what you're told to do once we analyze you in that blueprint loan? Okay? I'm going to blueprint you every step of the way, and the process is very simple. Okay? What should I do? Well, the reality is use Zelle, Ray at rrfsllc.com. Simple. It's very easy to do. All right? It's a Zelle. All right? Or you basically have to email me. And if you did that, it's info@rrfsllc.com. And if I use the card for those 2, I'm going to charge you 5% more, okay? Because the merchant charges that, just to let you know. How's it work, okay? But there's only 2 of those available. Now, what I'd like to do, okay, is when you do that, if you 2 of you do that this morning, I'd like to send you a mouse pad, every one of you anyway. I know this one's backwards, so it's not, okay? Here's a mouse pad. It's quality mouse pad. I don't cheapen anything. I'm going to send it to everybody who asked for one of these today for free. You can email request at info@rrfsllc.com. That's rrfsllc.com. That's info@. Okay, I'll send you the mouse pad. Or you can actually, in the link tree, if you find a link tree, you can request one. So again, I want you to look at your future. See, the bottom line is I want to put you on checks. Don't take offense to this. If your credit score is 750 and above, what the hell are you going to do next? Yeah, keep the job, start a business, go. The problem is you're trying to do something that doesn't exist. What doesn't exist? Okay, let's understand. Okay, you cannot take an LLC and run a business because they sue you. I'm at work right now. Can you send me a picture, and so I can picture of every website, a picture, okay? I don't know what that means, but they'll see that note. You made a note in the link tree. I'll take a picture of that, okay? Again, somebody will do that as well. But again, if it comes to those 2 positionings, when I involve sales, they make a commission. So the answer would be no. It's just not in the link tree on purpose. So I didn't want to really bring it up. But again, we have a client who brought it up because his sister did it, okay? I'll always answer questions. That doesn't mean you're always going to be happy, okay? Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Say hi, how you doing? Fantastic, again. So I'll tell you the truth. You might not like the truth, but it's going to be up to you. So if you want me to rebuild that, that's basically something you would do today during this live here. After that, you call the office, no problem. You can do that all day long. And they're going to give you a product and a service, but they're going to add basically more service fees to it and commission to it. So again, that's just through me direct, okay? Because someone asked direct, I answer the question. Now, let's position this for a second. Let's say that I got your first $10,000 credit for it, $10,000. Why don't you use that to get into another program like coaching? A lot of clients use credit to get into more products with me. They always have. I build them credit, they finance it. You see, if I spend $30,000 today, the payment's $286. So you waste $50 every other day. Up to $700 to $1,000 a month, you kind of piss it away. So if you finance the next step, you can actually get to the point you have an escrow closing and you get the American dream. So I believe the American dream is auto income. I've done that since 1987, for instance, okay? All right, on Friday we had day, okay? Friday we had 4 escrows closed. It was a pain in the butt. Royal pain in the butt, okay? We had an escrow, $125,000, 2 people plus me. Lisa and Mark got into an escrow with me, no problem. At the last minute, they wanted an extra $1,000 from each of us. No problem, we did that. We closed the escrow. Now, what happens in an escrow, let's watch what happens, very simple. If I use a basically credit card, escrow, no. So I'm at 66.6 followers, 1,000. That's perfect. Thank you, Mindy. It was going up, and that's like, anyway, I don't understand it sometimes. Because it was 66.6, and they were 665, went back and forth. Now, understand something, please. I'm going to say checkbook money. Can you write it down, please? Checkbook money. What does this mean? All right, these are checkbooks. This is lines of credit, okay? The bank, if I position you right, you're going to have up to 150 B of A. 150 on Chase, okay? They give you a debit card and a checkbook. U.S. Bank, same thing, no problem. And they give you that, if I get it through my fingers, okay, here, or even Wells Fargo. So the 4 banks will give you up to 150. 50 to 150 as a line of credit if you're positioned for that. If you have an American Express Gold or Platinum card, Gold or Platinum, they will give you and invite you to a Blueprint loan. I've been told by 3 employees it was named after me. Don't know if it's true because I owned the Blueprint of Success for 47 years. So what happens? These cards invite us to a Blueprint loan, okay? Every card in my hand says Ray Reynolds University, by the way, in the bottom of it. Right there, real cards, okay? So what happens? All right, once they verify income, they verify bank account, petty cash accounts, then we need a Blueprint loan. That's up to $250, okay? So if we did 2 things, we looked at a Blueprint loan or a checkbook money, either way, it's writing a check to escrow. If you write check to escrow because you're in a project, let's say you're buying a Wendy's restaurant, that's $1 million. That's 9 people plus me. I want a storage unit. It could be 3 people plus me. All right, I'm in every escrow. I've done this since 1987. What happens is very simple, the ability to play the game to win. So escrows. We closed one on Friday, all right, at 125,000 became 126 at the last minute, okay? Once escrow closed, the management company verifies how we paid. How we paid is very simple. Then they take and made the payment. Then they turn around from there and we get our first payment in 46 days in the bank account, and that's very simple. The division receives the money tied to the parent company. The division has its own credit file. That's what it is. Each division, we had designed in 87, 86, and 85 was have a division with a bank account right, tied to the parent company and basically a check mark would have their own credit reports. So division process was invented in 84, became law in 85, 86, 87. By 87, all states had it approved. Division process. I have 6 kids. That means I have 6 credit reports for my kids. Each one have their own reports. An LLC can have 18 babies. C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, PC can have 18 babies. Each division has its own credit files. So each division with its credit files can finance a business and you can multiply credit called daisy chaining. So what happens is very simple. 4 escrows. Now one client, basically his name was Peter. Peter took his basically, all right, 50,000 line of credit from B of A. They gave him 50, no problem, 50. He wrote basically a check into escrow for 25,000. Now, escrow closed, no problem. No, it happened very simple. Management company verifies he paid by a line of credit. They deduct the payment every month and they make sure he gets the proceeds. The management company controls it all. That's how it works. His proceeds are $31.20. So that means forever he gets $31.20 for his division to the parent company. I tell people never sell anything, keep it forever and forever and forever. It's up to you as you do this. So what do? So he gets basically $31.20. You're not rich. I don't want you to be rich. I'm not rich. I've made millions and billions of dollars through corporate structure, but I've never said I'm rich because I don't want to be rich. That's only dumb people say that. I'm a puppet master. I control millions and billions. I don't want anything in my name because I'm not dumb. I don't want them to take it away. You see, you control everything, own nothing. I've done that all my life. I kind of modeled that after John D. Rockefeller years ago. I studied Rich and Famous as I went to school and learned from the library as well. Second escrow, they put 45,000 down in escrow. That's what they put in their escrow because they only got 70,000 of credit. Their line of credit was 70,000. So this is Nancy and Joan. Okay, Nancy and Joan, they basically did it, and through the process, 45,000 down. Their proceeds after payment is 4110. They are going to own that hopefully forever, and they leave it to their irrevocable trust, and they play the game to win. So that's the second escrow. Third escrow, this is Robert. Robert put 75,000 in escrow. So you got 100,000 line of credit. See, here's how it works for me. When I help somebody in an escrow process, my numbers stay the same. They do not change. If I get you 50,000 line of credit, 25,000 escrow. That's all you can do. The business you can buy has to only take 25,000. If I get you 50, 25, 75, 50, 100, 175, 150, 100,000. That's the most you can put in escrow. That's how it works. The reason we put basically 125 in an escrow, they gave us 150. All right, I actually use basically the blueprint loan, which you can all get if you have, all right, 30 transactions, 100,000 a month. If you don't have it, all right, if I'm voted as a CFO for your organization, while we're working on it, I'll verify income and bank account using my accounts for you. But you have to be in a coaching program to do that. So what happens is very simple. All right, so basically 75,000, their income, Robert's income after proceeds and bills, 6810 a month. So he'll get 6810 from one of his divisions to the parent company on a monthly basis forever. Unless he sells it or leverages it or whatever and screws it up. So what happens, you get a piece of something. Think about like a timeshare. Timeshare, you get a deed of trust per week. When you buy a piece of a business, you get a deed of trust for that piece. So you own it. You're not really partners with anybody, but you own the piece forever and let your proceeds get in there. That's why it works. So what happens is very simple. So the first one got basically 3120. Second one got 4110. Third one got 6810. From there, we got basically 10,620 a month. That'll be the proceeds. So every escrow is different. You have to customize it. And at the last minute, that fourth one was a pain in the butt because they kept changing things, verification. Then at the end of the day, to close it, everybody, they need $1,000 each from each one of us. There were 3 people in the escrow. Each of us got a piece, and that's how it works. So again, what happens? So we each had to send money. I offered to do it for 2 of them. Let me do it, just get it done. No, they zelled it into the escrow. Problem. No problem. Sounds great for everybody. So what happens today, we get to play the game to win. So if you're ever thinking about this, I'll send you a mouse pad with this on it. I'll send it for free, quality mouse pad. I'll pay for the whole thing for you, and what you get to do is have some fun. So what happens is very simple. It becomes a business, you own a piece of something, and you don't do anything besides the management company manages it for you. See, rich and famous people don't do what you do. You're trying to reinvent, let your LLC, your business corporation do business. They don't do that. They own companies. That's what they do. They own companies. Warren Buffett owns Coca-Cola. He owns stock in Coca-Cola. He's an investor. See, this is how it works. He owns See's Candy, Ridge Jewelry, okay? No matter if it's Musk, Bezos, no matter if it's Buffett, all right, Zuckerman, they own companies, You're trying to invent the wheel which doesn't exist. Can you talk to the specialist? Yeah. Let's see, we got 4:21 in the morning, 4:21. They'll be here in 2 hours, okay? So in 2 hours, talk to a specialist, but understand, they'll talk about coaching programs as well. Keep in mind, if you want me, it's very simple. I'm basically booked, all right, for now. I have 2 openings and then I'm booked. That's it. So if you want one of the other coaches, you can get another coach as well, junior and senior coaches. If you want the founder of the company, Ray Reynolds, you better do it pretty quick because I have 2 openings and that's it. So it's very simple as we play this game to win. I called it a game. Why? It's very simple. When I wrote Winning the Game of Business, yes, I know it's backwards, but this was written when I was 15 years old. I was 15 years old driving a Lamborghini with $1 million in the bank. Simple. Why? I invented something called Car Finder. I actually wrote a patent when I was 12 and a half years old. Okay, it's crazy. They offered me a check for $1 million and basically a licensing fee forever. Did you know Car Finder became part of GPS? Bum, bum, bum. I love goodies. See, you got to get some goodies. So you might want to think about this, okay? As we played the game to win. Now, I created my first billionaire structure at 21. Corporate billionaire structure. I'm not rich. I don't want to be rich. What is auto income? Well, pay attention and keep listening to it. Okay? All right? Because you're late to the date. That's not my problem. It's yours. So play and learn to play the game to win. Auto income is very simple for all of you. You drove by a storage unit the other day. Why the hell doesn't one of your divisions own the damn thing? Why doesn't a division own it or a piece of it, part of an investment pool? Why? I don't get it. We drove by Wendy's. Why didn't you own that? I bought my first jacket box when I was 19 years old through corporation. Why don't you have auto income, storage unit, laundromat, car wash? Hell, I wrote the first books 47 years ago about car wash and laundromats. Now you got clients. You need a car wash? No, you don't. You need to own the damn thing. See, that's auto income. Management company manages all auto income. You don't do a damn thing besides you invest, own a piece of it, own a piece. That's why you need a tab and a pen. Yes, 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 again and again. So what do we get to do? We get to play the game. So the 4 escrows Friday was a pain in the butt. Royal, the last one was. Between popping credit, going live a bunch of times, and then fighting escrow at the same time. And being on a call to escrow while I'm going on live. I'm going live. What do you need? 1,000 more. Okay, no problem. Done. Send 1,000. Be done. It's fun. But again, what do we do? So let's go back to you. Your personal credit. Now, there's a phone number for the office, as Mindy's helped many times today. Thank you, Mindy. She's one of our administrators as well. I love that. Moderators, as they call it. 800-254-9506. Talk to a specialist. But the 2 programs that I mentioned today, because their sister got into it, they're not offering that. Because if they did, they'd mark it up for their commissions. They have to. So again, it's very simple. So this is auto income. Your LLC would have 18 divisions. Do you need 18? No. Start with 3. Okay? See, divisions have credit reports. Divisions have credit reports. So if I had 3 divisions, okay, and we'll take this to Ray Reynolds University ones right here, because they're real in my hand. Or I can take the other stack over here. This stack here. Why not? They're fun. Okay? So we can play the game to win. I've been doing this for so long. It's great. So controlling millions and millions of dollars of credit is fun too. All right. So every one of these, 3 of these here, that's 1 for each division. Remember, American Express is going to want to verify and log into account the moment you use $25,000. Okay? At any given time, they do a financial review. If they can't see 30 transactions and see money in the bank, this is $270,000 right here. Okay? Petty cash. $71,000 here. Okay? $56,000 here. If they can't log into a real bank account and verify, it's a bunch of hooey. You got a lot of circus clowns online lying to all of you. So, if we had 3 cards here, that allows us to get a blueprint loan per card. What is a blueprint loan? If you have an Amex card today, they show you blueprint loan when you log into your bank account or your account for gold or platinum. It's blueprint up to $250. It's what it is. So that $250 is a line of credit. That $250 you can actually put in installment loans and close multiple escrows at the same time. But they want to see $100,000 in the bank account. All right, plus I want 30 transactions. So clients that are in coaching with me, there's another program they can do and line up for it. They'll use my accounts as I become one of their CFOs, only for banking and verification purposes only. It's in the resolution. So again, if you had 3, that's fine. That's $300,000. And basically, if you do it right, you're going to have about $30,000 income for this per month. Each division has an income. Each division separates liability. Each division's line of defense. Each division has its own credit report. Okay. If I have 6 divisions, or that's $600,000, that's $60,000 a month. If I have 9 divisions, okay, that's usually $100,000 a month income, about $1 million of credit. So again, here's even extra ones, okay? So what do we do? If we do this correctly, okay, 18 divisions is 9 lines of credit and 9 locations of something. That makes $100,000 a month. So you can always add pieces as you go down the line if you want to, but it's going to be up to you, okay? I like controlling millions and billions of dollars. I've done it since I was 21 years old, having fun. We got all these stacks here. There's a bunch more millions of dollars of credit. And every client I verify income for them because they're coaching. Okay, what happens in a special program for that? So again, use checkbook money from the line of credit from the bank, or use a line of credit, maybe a blueprint loan from American Express. It's up to $250. See, that's where people get to basically close an escrow. See, I believe you're getting older, slower, you're not as pretty as you used to be. Sorry, it's just the way it works. If you have structure, finance, and dream. Structure, finance, dream. But all of you, it's ridiculous. I don't get it. You're trying to get your LLC to do business, or your C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit, or PC do business, and no rich and famous person did it that way. Maybe you're trying to reinvent something. That's good. Or reinvent it. Maybe it's going to work. It's not going to work. I don't get it. You do not allow your parent company to do business. You have LLC today. Fantastic. You named it after you. That's called dumb number one. You name what it does, dumb number two. You actually do business at the LLC. It's dumb number three. Why would you do that? Nobody on planet Earth ever lets their parent company do business in the first place. Well, I got an equity corp. You have no equity to protect. I got a stock corp. Yeah, stop. I've never watched so much crap in my life. In the link tree, come on. Your link tree, you have free articles of corporation any type you want, any state you want to. It's free. You just pay your filing fee, and you spend thousands for a piece of paper. You didn't learn diddly squat. It makes no damn sense. You learn diddly squat. Why don't you go to class with me, real classes? 6 days a week, several times a day, and Saturday, all classes all through the day. We had a subdivision class on Saturday. You don't need to spend $20 for a class and someone fill out your application. No. I don't like them. Sorry. So for those your credit score sucks, this is what I offer because someone brought it up today. Okay, $1,000. Very simple. For $1,000, you're stuck with me for an hour. Okay, an hour time. I'm going to blueprint you. Okay, I'm going to take your partner of life with you on that call. Hopefully you have one, no problem, simple. I'm going to block your crap with the Rapper Rescore. Our paralegal is going to basically tear apart your credit report for you as a bonus for free. I'm going to add history, and I'm going to hand you $10,000 in credit. $10,000. I'm going to give you 10 times your money you invested in the first place. 10 times. Just for the hell of it. Why not? Then if you get the 10,000 when you do, why don't you use that to get into some coaching programs? But guess what? So you use that credit to play and have some win the game with me if you want to. But again, like I said, because you brought it up, I have 2 openings from there. That's it. There's a program I offered last year. I'm not going to offer it again. If you call the sales team, they don't offer it because they have to offer you something different. So this is off the shelf. This is something I do personally, and I did it for coaching for his sister. That was it. Now, they're going to talk to you. They have different programs offer every one of you. Simple, 800-254-9506. But here in that program that I just offered there would be something you do with me. Okay, you do it with me. Basically, it'd be a Zal, Ray at rrfsllc.com. All right, it's $1,000. If you use the card, you would email me that email, and then basically use the card to charge 5% more. If you don't do it, it's okay. Call the office. They'll give you another program. But it'll be a lot more. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so I'm just offering because you were asked the question. There are 2 openings. That's it. But it's usually something you want to do. I think everyone should look at your credit score. Now, if your score is great, a blueprint call with me is $1,000 anyway. But I want your partner of life on the call. I want to go through past, present, and future. Oh, okay, once again, educational contact only, not tax, legal advice, financial advice as well. Results may vary. Always a disclaimer because there's always crap happens. If you don't follow through, don't blame me. If you don't follow through, do not blame me. You blame yourself. Thank you for joining the fan club. So what do we do? If I got your credit score, let's understand, let's ask a basic question. If your credit score is a 750 plus now, right now, it's a 750, fantastic. I'll help you get there. Let's say it is, okay? What are you going to do next? What do you do next? Okay, come on. You're 75, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20 years old. What do you do next? You've tried 5 times to get a business to work. You have failed 97% of the time, brought the pain home back to you. You're playing catch up, not fall down. Every rerun you've had every day is the same damn thing as well. What do you do when your score is a 750 score? If I hand you 10,000 in credit, I would like to get you in a coaching program. See, if you and I work together every several weeks, and I lined you up, and I gave you your goals, and I told you what to do next, and I told you what I was going to do next, what's going to happen, you repackage your life. I believe what you need to do very simple. Thank you, yes, shout to live. Hi, how you doing? Everyone say hi. What does it for the 10,000 credit come from? I'm going to give you credit cards because I want to get you to make sure. Here's a problem with your score. Most of your credit scores suck. Or they're great, fantastic. I got a CARE credit card, fantastic. I got basically so this loan here. I got Sam's Club. I got this that. See what happens most of the time. If you don't have substance, in other words, let's get you a $50,000 line of credit venture. How about a $10,000 Citibank? So that $10,000 would be basically credit cards on your system, on your personal file. From there, all right, if you wanted the $10,000, you have a corp, I'll put it to the corp. What do you want it to? But again, that's only 2 of you anyway. And 3 people already said they want it, so first come, first serve. I'm sold out after that, okay, for right now. So what happens, very simple. Please don't take your LLC and try to do business, because it doesn't work that way. Rich and famous take companies, they own companies. They do not let their parent company do business. All right, you're trying to invent something that doesn't exist. That makes no sense. The LLC, if it starts to make money, I'm going to tell you, don't worry about the 15.3% employment tax, because you're going to convert it to an S Corp. S Corp. S Corp will make sense. C Corp, you double tax, because why? You want to be? I don't understand that. So I would not have a C Corp. If I did, I'm going to convert it to S anyway when I make money. Now, the easiest one to do is a C Corp, because why? It's a corporation. LLC is not a corporation. It's a limited liability company fed off sole proprietor. That's what it did. So you got choices, I understand. Okay? Mr. Martinez, okay, good morning for you too. As we play the game to win. So, what should your future be? No matter what we have to do in personal business credit, what do? I believe you need auto income. I believe what you should have done a long time ago is bought a Wendy's restaurant, a Jack in the Box, a storage unit, laundromat, a car wash. I believe you should have did that a long time ago. That's just me. You see, I call it Boeing and Steady because it makes sense, Boeing and Steady. In other words, all right, I mean, a storage unit is a dummy-proof business, dummy-proof. Any dummy can own it, let the management company run it and leave it alone. Why would you do anything else? I mean, come on. It's funny. I watch people all the time trying to run a business, and they run out of money. Structure builds finance and dream. Structure builds finance and dream. No structure, no finance, no dream. I mean, like right now, who here wants $1 million company? Who wants $1 million company? Say yes, yes, yes. Come on. Who wants a company doing $1 million? $1 million. Come on, right now. Or who wants it? Yes, 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 yes. Okay? So I give you 1,000 today. What do I get? I just gave you the list, okay? We'll go over it again. So simple. So you want $1 million company. Here's the problem, okay? The corporation will be worth $1.2 million if you had the 18 divisions. That's $100,000 a month. So here's $1.2 million. Now, if I hand you $1 million today, would you like it personal or business? Who would like $1 million of personal or business? Would you like personal or business? Here's $1 million. Come on. How many ones? Come on. I mean, here's over $1 million in my hand. Would you like $1 million of personal or business? What would you like? Who would like $1 million of personal or business? Tell me the truth. Come on. Who wants $1 million of personal or business credit? Okay? Who wants $1 million? Okay? Now here it goes, going crazy. Okay. You want both. Okay? The answer is both. You said personal. No. If I gave you $1 million of personal credit, that's too much. You're not going to get it anyway. Personally, I have $300,000 of credit. My wife has $100,000 plus. We don't use it. We don't abuse it. So personal credit, okay, I'd say $100,000 of personal for safety, $71,000. This is $100,000 plus credit. $71,000 is safety. That's what it means. Thank you, Medium. Thank you. $100,000. All right, safety. There's $71,000 of safety for the family. That's the first thing. God, family, money. God, family, money never changes. So it's God first, and then it's family. Husband, wife become one, and then it's money. Okay. What happens is now you're going to start the business. If we had $1 million of business credit, what do? The credit is a way to finance the business. How much should you have personal safety? $71,000. The reason you want $71,000 of safety credit, that gets you through a year, a family of 5 people. Okay? Husband, wife, and 5, whatever, 3 or 4 kids. I have 6 kids, 5 girls and a boy. Okay? So I always want $100,000 of safety in case blank hits the fan. All right, again, day, month, a year, whatever happens. I believe in $71,000 of safety credit, we can get through the year. But what happens is you don't jack up these damn cars, you jacked up the wrong ones. You jack up these. In a year, if I jack these up $100,000 or $71,000, my score would never drop. These don't fluctuate. The score would never drop. It would never drop. So again, safety doesn't mean use it and abuse it. It means a habit. Is it better to have it or not have it at all? You backed yourself in a corner. That's why most of you have crappy credit or lousy limits on cards. So again, safety credit is here. That's $100,000 of personal credit. I believe in that 100%. But again, it's going to be up to you. Your choice for you is to learn how to play the game to win. If you get your scores up to 750, what do you do next? Use cards like these. Line of credit, line of credit. So again, all right, you brought it up because I did it for a sister last year. Okay? If today you invest $1,000 with me while I'm live, not after this, You call the office, they're going to charge you a different program. They make a commission, and no problem. That's simple. You have an 810, fantastic. Again, what do we do? All right, now do a blueprint loan with me, a blueprint call. Here's got an 810. That sounds good. You might not have the right credit to do good things, maybe you do. Let's say it's all perfect. I would take that score, make sure I have my LLC or S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, PC, 18 divisions. When I start making money, I would turn around from there and make that LLC and S Corp, C Corp, S Corp as well, up to $5 million because there's no employment tax, and I can get a paycheck based on what's called suggested what? You must have basically a paycheck, reasonable check under the LLC or C Corp, to LLC to S. S says reasonable compensation. Well, that's breaking even time. We look at our personal bills, we break even. Again, I would bill credit to the corporation next, like I said, the $1 million. Now, each division has its own credit file. Let's write down, each division has its own file. The reason I bring up I have 6 kids, every child I have is an 800 score. So in other words, I had babies that had their own credit score independently. A corporation's a legal person. It's in Chapter 18. Chapter 18 says a corporation is a legal person. Again, it's public record, not here to be safe an attorney. So if the corporation has 9 babies, that is $1 million of credit. 9 babies. So every one of these is $100,000, paid over time limit. So the parent company has these. It's simple. Raven Hills University right there. There's $200,000. Now I do it for every division. All right, every division has their own card. There's your $1 million of credit. What do you do with it? Every division would buy a piece of business. Now keep in mind American Express. Please, please, please. These clowns out there tell you flat out that your American Express for $1 million they can use it. It's not true. American Express, you can look online. It always says we do a financial review at $25,000 spend. They shrink limits when your score drops. They close your accounts because you don't have the verification, and basically you got past it. The difference is they catch you and it screws it all up. So what happens? If we did this today, let's pretend, because I pick on the American Express card. In other words, here, every one of these cards right here, there's $200,000 right there. Each division got their own cards. Very simple. That's $200,000. That's $2 million of credit off Amex cards. If we got the blueprint loan American Express offers, that means they offer up to $250,000 per card, $250,000. I could have 4 escrows going simultaneously if I wanted to. 4 escrows if I wanted to. When they want to do the review, for me, it's very simple. For March, here's $270. That's petty cash account. Okay, another petty cash, $71,000 right there, and another one, $56,000. Okay, so I can verify what I say, so they don't close my card, and they actually increase my limits. Each division can get up to $250. If you were in a coaching program and ever get stuck, there's a program that I could be your CFO if you need me to be. Use my accounts to verify for you. It's CFO, all right, for banking credit purposes only. I have no legal right to do anything from your company. It's your company. But again, I hope clients do that as well. If we're going to go get this auto income situation, that means we're using checkbook money. Checkbook money. Checkbook money is where you write a check to an escrow. If you would have credit cards, understand, let's say we have our Chase cards. Here's Chase cards. There's no interest up to 22 months. No interest at all. No interest at all. Okay? Here's $300,000. No problem. Plus this basically means $500,000 credit. There are 10 cards to get, 8 more cards. Up to literally every division can have $1 million of credit. See, the gift is every division has their own credit files. See, you screwed up your credit. You considered the division credit versus yours. Because you didn't know any better, that's what you did. A division could screw up, disconnect, isolate, incorporate. Your bank's bankrupt 22,000 locations last year alone. Cities have literally, all right, at Chapter 9 bankruptcy, and they file bankruptcy on their debt, stay in business. See, what you're not watching is the way the world really works. No rich and famous person ever lets their parent company do business. You're trying to invent something that doesn't exist. Good luck with that. That's why you fail. Sorry, 97% of you fail starting a business. You don't have structure, finance, and dream. Structure, finance, dream. You just don't have it. There's your problem. You blow it because you don't have structure, finance, and dream, and that's what happens all the time. So understand something. Here's $350,000. This is credit cards. Credit score builds you more. Credit score, credit cards gives credit score, build more. Credit cards give score to you more. Now these cards here would be basically what? I buy Bitcoin, gold, silver, stock trading. So if I use this card here for 50,000 to buy Bitcoin, it's going up, down, up, down, and down. The world's going, ah. If it goes down, I write it off. If it goes up, I write it off. Either way, I write it off. So you should never buy Bitcoin out of your paycheck because that's taxable income. They become dumb. Let the division buy it. Gold, silver, everything else. See, all this stuff we're going through right now will pass. It'll go up, up, and away. You're trying to build long term. Don't count on your 401k because I think 401ks are crap. Unless you just want to be broke. That's up to you too. So if I get these cards, no interest up to 22 months. Come on. If I use checkbook money, very simple, I get an escrow close. 4 escrows close on Friday, very simple. What do we do? One escrow was basically set up, 25,000 in escrow, because they had a line of credit lined them up for 50,000. Their proceeds are 2120. Second escrow, 45,000 in it. This is Nancy and Joan. The first one was Peter. From there, that's 4110. Third escrow is Robert. He did 75,000 in escrow. His proceeds were 6810. I'm just reading off the list from the escrow report. Then we had Lisa and we had Mark. Lisa and Mark and I did 125,000 in an escrow. At the last minute, they fought us through escrow. They need an extra $1,000 each, so we sent another $1,000. We close escrow. The proceeds are $10,620 a month. So understand, based on the escrow you want to go get, based on the position you want. A storage unit makes sense, okay? Laundromat makes sense. Wendy's, Jack in the Box, car wash, an apartment complex. These are run by management companies. Don't buy a business you have to run, because that makes no damn sense. You should never run a business. You should be an investor into the business, and you get auto income. Auto income, very simple as well. Got to jump, but interested in your pitch, I'm following you. Let's follow all you want. That's fantastic. Okay? So what do? You play the game to win. So again, what do? Okay, can I repeat that? All right. I had 2 openings, I now have 1 left. Okay, it's very simple. And this is my schedule. All right, I have 2 openings, very simple. And client, and actually he's not a client yet, he wants to be a client. And what happens is his sister got into a program I offered last year. And I said, very simple. And I explained to the program last year, your sister invested $1,000, $1,000. I gave her an hour of my time called Blueprint. I blueprinted her, even her husband as well, past, present, and future. From there, I analyzed her credit. I added credit history. I put in a Rapper score. We built her credit score up to 756, actually. I handed her $10,000 cards. So I got her 3 cards equal $10,000 in her credit file. She used part of that to get into a coaching program, and that's what she did. I offered it for $1,000 last year. So for $1,000, let's run it down. There's only 1 opening left, $1,000 today. Blueprint call up to an hour with me. Analyze your credit history. Adding history. All right, analyze your credit. Tell you what to do from there, past, present, future. Credit rebuild, Rapper rescore, block the crap, push you up, and I get you $10,000 in credit for that $1,000. That is a Zelle payment only. That is basically ray@rrfs.com, or that's an email saying you want to use a card. If you do that, I charge 5% more for that. That program is not offered at the office, okay? All right, it's not on the list because, again, they make a commission, and that's okay for them to make a commission. There's other programs you can get involved as well. All right, to have long-term watchers, 1977. Well, that's when I was helping Yarborough and TRW and Asperian, and they thought it was older than that. It's kind of fun. That's okay. Had a beard when I was 12. So every one of you could change your life if you wanted to. Should I have divisions when I have no? Oh, yeah. Come on. The question is, should I have divisions for nonprofit? Let's understand something, okay? When I did corporation for Ronald Reagan a long time ago, Ronald Reagan, I've done 3 presidents so far. Nancy Reagan took Teach Our Children, which is one of my divisions or companies under Helping Hand Industries. She made it the DARE program. We did the Owens County Blind Center. Nonprofit, if you had divisions today, that's grant money. Do division for hospice, elderly care, transportation, okay, delivery service. Every one of those is grant money up to $100,000 a month. So yeah, they would say yes, yeah. But again, division process are about $1,000 each when they line it up correctly. Okay, the difference is once in a while we do have a sell in divisions, but again, that's up to you as well when you position yourself. But again, the goal is if you get into a program, you stay with me for usually long term. I have clients here that are for 35, 40 years right here. Black Kinfolk, his whole family's been clients for 50 years. So what do? It's very simple. Okay, we play the game to win. The ultimate game is for all of you. So today, if you did that $1,000 program, you would Zelle the money, okay? And you put your phone number in the middle of the Zelle. It just tells who it is. So we call you back from accounting and said, okay, you're in locked for that program. You got the last position. And Burnett would add you to my schedule and talk to you as well. But again, that's if you did that $1,000 program today. If you don't, it's okay. Someone else will. See, the opportunity doesn't usually knock. It just falls in your lap. It's a now situation. But our goal is this, simple. If you want a mouse pad, I'll send you one of these pads today. Simple. It's in the link tree. DM me, DM me, DM me, DM me. Okay, DM me. Simple. I'll send you the mouse pad. I'll pay for the whole cost for you. I want you to change your life. That's what I really want you to do, but it's going to be up to you as we play this game to win. So I have all kinds of other programs. I have 47 programs to play with. Coaching to me is more important because that's where I make people millionaires and billionaires. Before I died in the coma in 2009, came back after that, they stole my $3.7 billion structure. Look at Huntington Harbor, people. Look at the largest U-Dock. That was my backyard. That was my yacht. My backyard. My backyard. Got it so far? So I've been basically having up to $2.2 billion in real estate my whole life, but it's still my goodies. My bank doesn't offer, sell, or darn. Well, simple. Email me, use a card. Simple. All right? But you got to remember it's 5% more if you use a card. That's how it works. So that's Ray at rrfsllc.com. Email that. You want to do that. I'll have Burns call you. All right? Take a card if you want that program. Again, it's now, or forget it because I'm sold out pretty well until I get openings. And this is my last year anyway. Hey, I've done my 50 years, 6 days a week. Now my junior and senior coaches get to take over. That's the goal for all of us. So if we play the game to win, I don't get it. I don't understand. You're asking your LLC, your C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit PC to do business. Nobody's done that before. Nobody's had their parent company do business. It's divisions. It's like the nonprofit. It's the division that rolls the dice. I mean, come on. The only thing hypothetically you file a bankruptcy is an SSN, SS4. That means you're the duck or sheep. Make your decision. Divisions use tax ID in the future, tax IDs. After your days, you change the credit. You could bankrupt a division, disconnect, isolate, incorporate, throw the bad piece away. Your banks did this, your grocery store, your cities do it, but you're going to invent the process. Fantastic. You're trying to do something that's never been done before. I don't understand. Why would you ever want your corporation to do business? It should be owning businesses called division process. But again, that's how it works. That's how it works. But what do? Good luck. That's $100,000. Now, in your personal credit, understand something. If I was to do a call with you up to 1 hour, and if we didn't take an hour, we'd break it down into pieces. Okay? That's a blueprint, usually husband or wife partner. We charge $1,000 for that hour anyway. I'm $5,000 an hour, $50,000 a day. Big companies pay me all the time. But then my wife calls this my hobby, so I give it all kinds of ridiculous prices. If we did this today, and I did blueprint for you, you and your spouse, no problem. I analyze your credit. We add history. We put you in a rebuild program. We do a rapid rescore to block your crap, push you up. I would build you $10,000 in credit. Use that credit that I build you personally to get into coaching or Mason Foundation. I gave it away last year at Christmas for $1,000. He brought it up, so it's offered today for $1,000. There's one opening. From there, I'm pretty well sold out. If it's not done by Zelle or payment now, you missed out. That's up to you. That's how it works. Again, that's how it works. We have the ability to change our lives if we want to. Remember, all right, I'm the guy that actually trained Yarborough at TRW in the 70s. Oldest card, fluctuation is 29%. We did rapid rescore back then because people need to close escrow. And I came with what's called granny money. They called it gifted money, no problem. From there, we're not allowed more than 6 inquiries every 100 days anyway. So rapid rescore back then, block crap, push your scores up and away, and you reduce your debt to ratio. That's how it works. So that's how it works. So the bottom line is very simple as we play this game. Okay, what are you talking about? Well, again, you're late to the date, so the reality is you missed out. All right, go through the process and learn. That's the ultimate goal for all of you. So the goal would be, if your credit score is bad or it's good, let's add history. Let's do a wrap. Let's add history. Let's do a rapid rescore. What happens is I can position your credit into more credit for the corporation structure. For instance, your credit score is fantastic. Good for you. If your LLC doesn't have Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax, you're stuck. I set up the dashboard in 87 to do that, by the way. Okay? So we position your history and the LLC or C Corp, S Corp, nonprofit with credit reports, Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax. If we start making money, I want to transfer that into an S Corp, LLC, or C Corp into S to $5 million or more. Then you change strategies. That's what I tell you to do. But that's my opinion. You do what you want to do. So again, if I position my credit back on track, 750, what are you going to do with it? I mean, come on, you're 30 years old to 70 years old. What are you going to do? You have failed 50 times, 10 times, 5 times because you tried. Sorry, it's good to try. Structure builds finance and dream, always has, always will. No structure, no finance, no dream. You have to realize you have to use checkbook money to finance the dream. I got to put the puzzle here. Okay, no problem. I did it the first time. Oh, good, I did it the first time. Fantastic. Being pretty good at that. This is my 20th week on TikTok and social media, trying to help people and play the game and win as we play this game. A lot of questions. I can't stop. I don't screw it up. Okay? So you're robbing for Peter to pay Paul. You can marry habit. No, what you're doing is you're financing something you need to do. So every one of you do that already. So you can say what he says. Okay, you're robbing for Peter to pay Paul and make Mary happy. How's that? Well, the reality is, how are you going to get into a coaching program unless you finance it? Win the lottery, write a check, I don't know. So again, I believe you already do that. So again, it's going to be you, Eric, Delaney, whatever you have, simple. You already do it. So again, you can question it, but then the reality is you already do it in your life. Every one of you take from Peter to pay Paul to balance your credit score anyway. So how do you finance your coaching? If you got $10,000 in credit, would you not finance something? How do you start a business? See, I mean, I don't like dumb comments. To me, they're dumb. It makes no sense. Okay, what happens? Very simple. We all have to get to the American dream. How do we do that? How do we do that? You have to finance it. The only way to get into this dream here, all right, who's going to put in escrow? Well, you do SBA loan? It's called dumb. You take from your family? Well, why would you take from your family and bring the pain home like 90% of you done? 97% of businesses fail because you have no structure in finance in the dream. You have no structure at all. That kind of sucks. So yes, you should think about financing something. If I got you $10,000 a day, what would you do with it? Sorry, some of you just piss it away. Let's go shopping. Let's go to dinner. No. Credit is a tool to finance your dream. You buy a house, you have to finance it. You didn't pay cash for the house. It's just like you buy a car, same thing. So when silly people make comments about Peter, Paul, make Mary happy, it's dumb. I don't like dumb. All right, the reality is very simple. All I know is very simple. When you control millions and billions like I've done my whole life, you have to finance it. Debt offsets taxes. The debt from the corporate credit doesn't show up on personal file. None of the credit lines show up on personal file, so again, it stands on its own damn 2 feet. You don't hurt your credit. The only card that ever would show up on your personal file, ever, would be a Spark card. So again, from Capital One, way over here, okay? If we had Capital One Spark, gold, blue, or silver, or gold, blue, or green, okay? They show up on both files. It's the only card that does. Why would I want to take money from a family and hurt the family? Wouldn't you rather finance the business, offset the taxes, and don't pay tax as well? Pay tax or buy a Lamborghini, Ferrari, or a spaceship? Would you not rather have that instead? No, why don't we jeopardize the division versus you? Every one of you jeopardize your family today. I need credit from my LLC. Simple. How much would you like? Call the specialist. Let them line it up for you. They'll charge you up to 10% to build credit for the LLC. But understand, if you did it through me now, I'm going to set the Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax for you. But call a special, do the same thing through the program. So again, what happens? Very simple. You need Experian, Treasurer, and Equifax for the LLC. I designed the credit file in 1987 to do that by tax ID. So if we use my system, what are we going to do? Very simple. I can take credit that we have on the dashboard right now and add you to it. I could add your LLC to an existing account as long as you were CFO approved. CFO means you don't have crappy credit, don't have any collections or bankruptcy crap chasing right now. So you're CFO approved, no problem. So I could build you, what do you want, $100,000 or $1 million? Call the specialist. It's right there, 800-254-9506. Now, understand what I usually do. On my dashboards, I actually add your corporation to one of my accounts. my accounts. When I make sure you're CFO ready, then I basically pop the card for you and your LLC or C Corps or your nonprofits. It gives me two choices. All right, authorized user or separate billing. I always go for separate billing. So my history gives you a card for your LLC, separate billing. Now you have your own account. That kind of makes sense to me. Again, it's a reference. I don't use trade line crap because that to me is a fraud. Always has been. Okay. I sent you the $1,000. If you did, simple. What happens is now you're going to get that position. Or you're the one who took the position or you wanted it. Fantastic. Okay, that means there's one opening. One actually confirmed it. No problem. So, if you want, again, I brought it up because it was brought and basically had a person said their sister did it last year. Here's my schedule. It's very, very simple. Here's my schedule. Okay? If you ever wanted a blueprint call when you talk to the office, they're going to charge $1,000 for my blueprint call. That's you and your partner in life on the phone with me. No problem. What I did basically at Christmas for his sister is I gave him for $1,000 that I repackaged her. I gave her and her husband a blueprint call. He's listening to the back scenes, no problem. I added history to their file, did a wrapper rescore. I gave her $10,000 in credit on 3 cards. From there, she used part of that to finance a coaching program. And then she spent $1,000. That's what I did. We analyzed her. Now our paralegal team had to remove a collection and a late pay. Had to get around that process again. We don't do credit repair. We do rebuilding. That's what we do here. So that was $1,000 for that person. And I offered 2 today if they did it today, because what happens is very simple. I'm pretty well sold out. I have 2 positions available. Now I have 1 left. Okay? So, could you explain auto income again? Okay, here we go. Auto income. Take supply credit. No. That's a Dun & Bradstreet. You take cash credit. These is checkbook money. Let's write down checkbook money. Checkbook money allows us to write a check from a line of credit the bank gave you. Checkbook money. I would say get into something very dummy-proof business. To me, a storage unit, it's dummy-proof because you don't have to do a damn thing. It's an investment, and they run it for you, and you're basically just receiving money because you invested it. See, rich and famous people invest and buy businesses that run businesses, and they get all the profits. That's how auto income works. So today, if we had what I call a dummy-proof business, very simple. I'm going to take my $100,000 of credit from my Amex cards right here. Here's $1 million plus, okay? I'm going to multiply by divisions. I'm going to maybe get an apartment complex, car wash, Wendy's, Jack in the Box storage unit. If I'm using cash credit, all right, maybe I'm going to get Bitcoin, all right, silver, gold, whatever. That's cash credit cards. So in other words, if I got these Chase cards, Inks, I'm not going to use this for an escrow. I'm not going to use it for escrow. Credit card builds score to get more. What I use is a line of credit, the bank. So this might be something like, Bitcoin, stock trading, whatever, gold or silver. Each one of those are different based on each division. Now understand what that does for you. If you lose, you write it off. If you gain, you write it off as well. That offsets the taxes. So again, if we use a line of credit, the bank gives you a line of credit. Understand that. All right, B of A is up to 150. So here's B of A, it's up to 150. Here's Chase, up to 150. Here's U.S. Bank, up to 150. Here's you basically Wells Fargo, up to 150s. So what happens is, if they give us a line of credit at the bank, or we go after that American Express, again, if I have cards per division, once I verify the income, what does that mean? American Express, at any given time you use a card more than $20,000, $25,000, they want to verify it. They put you through what's called a review. It's a financial review. That's what it is. Very simple. So guess what happens? So they use the review. If they can verify income, here's my petty cash account for last month. 270, okay? This is 71,000, no problem. And here it's 56,000. So the petty cash account last month, the 3 petty cash accounts have about $400,000 of verification. So that allows us to verify, so they allow us to get that blueprint loan. So every one of these cards for the corporation and division, so I can multiply even the Amex card up to $1 million. But again, I want to do more things than that. What I look at is the blueprint loan of American Express, okay? Does the loan to value always allow checkbook money? Well, the loan to value is very simple as you look for the credit. We don't understand that when it comes to corporate credit, you don't want to max it out. That's not the goal anyway, to max up anything. So I'd keep the cards on you in the business under 50%. They don't show up on personal file, but at 50% below, that allows them to get more credit. See, you're going to grow your business to millions and billions using credit and finance. It's what I've done my whole life, but it's up to you. So if I take these cards here, I verify through the bank account here, that's a 250 loan. That 250 right here, can do multiple escrows. But again, you need $100,000 auto income, $100,000 in the bank in and out, okay? And they want to see verification. They usually want to see about 30 transactions. They want to make sure you're really doing this as well from there. All right. The monitor is Mindy. It's very simple. Okay. I don't need someone to join my live because my IQ is 203. I got recall, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about, what you want to talk about. Okay. Sorry. That's just the way it is. But I do stutter, and I talk both hands at the same time as well, and I rhyme sometimes too. So guess what? If you can put up all those things, my crazy things, the guy the way he made me, you'll be okay for you. So the blueprint loan. Okay. So if I have checkbook money or blueprint money, it's right there, I can buy an escrow. I can line up, all right, 9 divisions, lines of credit, all right, and basically there are 9 locations of something. We give people folders every week. They're in coaching when they get to a certain level. We'd say, hey, would you like to buy a storage unit? Would you buy this or that? What happens is we've lined up about $5 billion of escrows in the next 12 months. We're lining up escrows all the time. These are escrows, I'm involved, every one of these. I give the client an opportunity, if they want to be part of an escrow, to literally own a piece of something. It's kind of like that timeshare that gives you a deed of trust. When you own a piece of a Wendy's restaurant, a storage unit, a laundromat, car wash, you're getting a deed of trust based on ownership. That's your division. Money's filtered to a division into the parent company because you're building a line of credit. The other thing is average balance gives you a line of credit for more. Banks want to salivate all the time. That's how it works, but it's up to you as well as we play the game. All right, how are you going to pay them back? Well, you don't use the money unless you have an income. How you pay it back is the proceeds. For instance, the escrow that closed on Friday, they put $25,000 in escrow. They used the line of credit. From there, their proceeds are $31.20. Out of $25,000, the payment's $281. I think out of $31.20, you can afford the payment. What do you think? But it's in the system, so the bank account pays it automatically. Keep in mind, all right, in the escrows, the management companies, when they verify you've used a line of credit, they don't give you all the money. The management company pays that bill for you out of the proceeds. You get leftover. So you don't have to worry about paying the payment. They're paying the payment for you because they won't give you the money until they pay the payment. Now, if you use cash, they don't care because there's no way to track anything, how you got the cash. So keep in mind, in an escrow, the management company, 99.999%, they pay the payment, you get the leftover. So I don't think worried about the payment is an issue. But don't do an escrow until you find an escrow they're actually going to do it. You do it on your own. Do it on your own, that's fine. If you bought a percentage of a business, you do what you want to do. I mean, you're driving by storage units every day. Maybe you want a piece of that. Wendy's, and that's $1 million. You have $1 million, or put 9 people plus me into it. Now we have $1 million to do it. Again, buy something silly. Silly. How about a car wash? Okay, laundry. I wrote books on that 47 years ago. So maybe you want to do yourself a car wash. We closed escrow about a week and a half on, and the difference on that do yourself car wash got, after all the bills were paid, they get $16,000 a month. That's not a lot. But again, if it's one person, that's fine. What if we put 4 people in it? Each person gets up to $5,000 a month. That's how it's done based on proceeds. Again, that's what I'd say to do by a division process. See, when you buy something yourself, you're managing it yourself. So it's up to you. But I'd rather have a management company manage it for you so you get to do another project again and again. See, when I put into my first series as a kid in page 6, paragraph 3, I wrote down cash flow for your time. My goal is to create cash flow for my time, not tie it up. I don't think you should manage a product yourself, but it's up to you. Maybe that's what you want to do. I'd rather get the income. I want it to be $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 or more. But again, it depends on what you purchase. Some of the things people do, like properties and real estate, fixer-uppers. I mean, it's like Peter paid Paul and Mary. Well, if you do real estate, you're doing the same thing. You're leveraging money to hopefully turn it into income. Single-family house, at 21, I decided to be the bank instead. There's no money in it, unless I put it under nonprofit. Nonprofit is basically grant money. If you did elderly care, hospice, military, whatever it is, they're giving so much grant money, it's kind of fun. But again, it's up to you. The main thing is structure builds finance and dream. Depends what you want to do. Okay. All right. Well, I think it was pretty clear when I said it. It was clear with you the other day too. You like to argue with me all the time. So again, it depends on what you want to do. Position yourself, okay? If you get into a coaching process, I'll help you get the line of credit, and that's how it works, all right? As we play this game to win. But again, it's going to be up to you what you want to do for yourself. I mean, you might do it yourself, then fine, do it. I'm just giving you opportunity, and I can guide you. See, I can send you the mouse pad for free because I want you to focus on this. So you might be focused on whatever you want to, that's fine too. Again, escrow's closed, there's proceeds. Management company pays the bill because they're managing the program, they're managing that project. They're not going to pay you all the money unless they make sure you pay your bill. They're not going to let you rip off anybody and any creditor. That's what it works. But again, it's a structure. Structure builds finance and dream. That's what it does. So as we play this game, keep in mind when it comes to the personal credit. If you're going to do this, you have to have verification process, like I showed you the bank accounts even for March. I can show transactions. I can show 30 transactions. Petty Cash alone has over almost $400,000 in that month as we do this. But again, if we look at your personal credit, put your credit on track. What do we do? It's very simple. These are free books that are in the down and the link tree. Starting at right makes sense, okay? It's for the kids and for you to understand credit. They didn't teach us in school, so I wrote the book in honor of Harold Stokes. My professor, my mentor, and one of my attorneys years ago passed away. So I did it in honor of him. So the reality, he wanted me to change the world a little bit. Winning the credit game gives you the outline to help you about your personal credit. You don't need to hire a credit repair unless you want to. All right, they're not supposed to do what they do anyway. So very simple, what happens? Credit repair, Federal Trade Commission, federal law says they must be nonprofit, be 501c3 exemption, public benefit, registered Attorney General's office, and not collect money up front. When they indicted Daniel 2 years ago in the credit repair cloud, $3 million fine, and they're going to put him in prison, they kept threatening that too. So again, please understand, Cindy, credit repair, why don't you do things for yourself? Okay, let's do a rapid rescore like we did in the 70s and 80s, rapid rescore. Block the crap, who scores up. Let's get our debt to ratio down as well. Debt to ratio is very simple. As we look at the debt to ratio, I say put a stick in the back of the card. Never go past 29%. 29%, if it's 30, it's yellow, 50 is red. I'd always say you'd have these cards because they don't fluctuate. But remember, they're going to do a review, so be prepared for the review of transaction-based and average balances because they're going to verify what you say you're going to do. Simple. So if we did this correctly as personal, that gives us one thing, 71,000 of safety. I like having safety credit in case we have a problem. Last week's problem was 50,000. Okay, move money from a petty cash account, shift it around, no problem. Right? From the 11th, we went to the school, educated, gave thousands of dollars worth of books away. That night, they robbed my office. They stole our cameras. This building's never been broken into in 20 years. But again, someone stole Ryan's camera. Someone stole my 10,000 brand new camera outfit. What do? I'll buy Ryan another camera the next day. And once you can position things, if you're not having safety, what's going to happen when you get your assets kicked? All of us have problems. Because if we're not prepared for that problem, I tell you to plan the problem all the time. So then you had cameras inside. We made the news worldwide, and we're seeing people. This guy robbed our cameras. No problem. Well, the reality is they had more locks, more of this outside as well, and deadbolts everywhere. Okay, never been broken into. That's happened. So you have to plan the problem. All right. Did we plan on getting a bank hacked? No. Did we plan on the robbery? No. Did we plan a 50,000 problem last week? No. But I planned the problem so I can shift things around to solve problems. Unfortunately, most of you back yourself in a corner. And you're trying to make your LLC or C Corp do business, and rich and famous people don't do that. Their companies own businesses. But again, you do what you want to do. It's up to you. That's why you have classes all the time. You can listen and learn and do what you want to do. You don't have to listen to me. Simple. You can do what I say or just go away. Pretty simple to do. But the bottom line is closing an escrow. I like escrows. I bought my first Jack in the Box when I was 19 through a corporation. That's what I did. It made sense. It was an auto-income business. When I wrote the book on laundromats and car washes 40-some years ago, I didn't say run it. I said own it as an investor. I've always been wanting to own a piece and let the management company make their money because they make their profit. And what do? We get the leftover. I think we're better off having leftover. Once again, today I'd say have your utility bills and your credit cards paperless, automatic payment. Then I'd tell you to do what's called fast pay, quick pay that I wrote for TOW became Experian 96. It's an extra payment on a weekly basis. I don't care if it's 25 bucks, just do that. I think you should have 29% below in all cards. All right, American Express, Gold, and Platinums don't fluctuate. That's your emergency card, but keep in mind, I maintain 10 to 15% on balances because if I pay it off every week or every month, they shrink my limit, so they close the account. See, the creditor needs to make some money off you. Make some little money. You don't have to make a lot. But again, if you pay it off every month, every week, they're going to probably close your account and shrink your limits. When you go to corporate credit, they say, hey, you haven't used enough credit anyway. Why would I give you this? So you got to realize they want to get in business with you. And that's the ultimate goal for all of us as we do this as well. So guess what? As we play this game, our goal is to play the game and win. Step. Structure builds finance and dreams. Structure builds finance and dream. It always has. This is the number I tell you to call that opts out to the national mailing list. See, you're all being sold on the mailing list. Like I said, if you were paperless, automatic payment, extra payment, that would make sense. You'd opt out for 5 years or a lifetime. 5 years or life, it's your choice. You do it or you don't do it. What does that mean? They're selling you on the dark web. All right, this opts out for the mailing list. That's what it does. So I tell everybody to do that. So free books and downloads, what you get to do, no problem as well. I like Blueprint loans, but I also like checkbook money at the bank. Whatever you position for you, that would be what I suggest for you. If you want, we can line up for you as well, and you can close an escrow. But remember, rules don't change. $50,000 line of credit, don't spend more than $25,000. 75, 50, 100,000, 75, 150, 100. All right. Once in a while, you might push it to 125, like we did on the one for Friday when we closed an escrow. We ended up putting an extra 1,000 because they kept giving us crap. We need an extra 1,000 for each of it. Okay, no problem. So we each put in 126 in the escrow. Now escrow closes. We use a line of credit. They verify that, they'll pay the bill. We get our first proceeds monthly payment, which is $10,620. We won't get it for 45 days. But now we use borrowed money. Borrowed money is not taxable. Therefore, no debt is due. And what happens is they pay the bill first, they get the leftover. So then we don't have to worry about it. It's simple. We did an auto income business. But again, if we did it 10 times, the ability you could actually multiply it. Remember, credit cards should never go into escrow, in my opinion. Credit cards could be, a lot of clients want to do Bitcoin. Well, if I put 50,000 in a Bitcoin off a card, my payment's less than $500 a month. The reason I look at it that way is because you spend $50 every other day, kind of waste it away. The average person wastes $1,000 a month. That's what happens all the time. Does always allow checkbook money privileges. Well, if you line up the bank, they give you $150. But remember, the line of credit on the corporation, it doesn't show up on personal file anyway. It's a corporation's credit. If they're maintaining, let's say we close escrow, management company pays the monthly bill. They're reducing the debt for you anyway, and you're getting proceeds. Eventually, all right, your debt to ratio from the card is phenomenal because they're going to give you more credit, more money. Banks love to make commission off you, and they make money selling money. So again, the payment's paid automatically. Did you use it all? No. Remember, I say 50%, 50,000, 25, all right, 75, 50, 100, 75, 150, 100,000. You always have some safety there. You never max it out. Again, loan to value, again, I wouldn't max it out. If I play an escrow with you, I never let you to max it out. I won't do it with you if you do that, because then you do your own thing. My program has been very simple for 50 years. You do it all, I'll teach you how. We do it together, or I'll do it all. So you do, we do, I do. It's how it works. Simple, as we play the game. Once we go back to these cards. I like Chase as my primary bank because there's no interest in cards or even Sapphire Freedom in the beginning. Personal business up to 22 months. To me, it's kind of like free money. So if I had credit cards to be able to score to get more, that might be a gold, it might be a silver, a Bitcoin, or stock trading. Depends on what type of business you do. If not, it might be more real estate. Maybe you own 5 Wendy's restaurants, all right? A McDonald's, a car wash, apartment complex. I think storage units are my favorite business because any dummy can own them and leave them alone. The management company manage it, you get your leftover. Again, that's one of my favorite out of 10. I believe there's only 10 businesses I would play with. Okay, one more time, yes, I'll repeat it for you. Okay, this is something I offered at Christmas time, and it's offered today. It's very simple. Okay, I had one left, and that's it, because I had to look at my calendar before you asked the question, because your sister did it last year. There's only one position. I'm pretty well booked up from there, and one left. So I offered it earlier to you. Is if you do it today, your sister did this. She spent $1,000. That's all she did, $1,000. I put her in a blueprint call with me, up to an hour. Her husband was next to her anyway, listening, learning as we do the process. The blueprint call by itself, she used $1,000. Okay, I analyzed her credit. I added her paralegal. We did a rapid rescore. We added history as well. And then I gave her $10,000 of credit. So I popped her 3 cards equal $10,000. That's what we did. She used part of that to get into another coaching program. But that was $1,000. It was a giveaway thing that I did live, and like I said, it's offered to you today. One of those can be done today. That's a Zelle payment. That's Ray at rrfsllc.com. Or if you used a card, if you did use a card, you email the email, it's 5% more because the merchant costs 5% for us. But it's a giveaway. All right, the office, when you call them today, if you want a blueprint call, it's $1,000 for the call. Again, one of you can do that. I have one left to do that. I had 2. I had to check the calendar because you asked a question earlier today. No problem. 800-254-9506 is the number. The office. We have people coming in about an hour's time. It is 5:18 in the morning. I start every morning at about 3:15, and that's the ultimate goal to help people every way. I'll be online a couple times more today as well. I probably won't be mentioning that program because there's 2 other people said they're going to do it. So the reality is whoever does it the next, that's the last one's available because I didn't really want to offer it, but I had to answer your email question. So the goal is very simple. Please don't try to do what you're trying to do, some of you. What does it mean? All right, this is educational content only, not legal, tax advice, or financial advice. Results may vary because I don't want you to put into it. You're going to get what you want out of it, and when you put into something, it's up to you. You control your life, I don't. It's like the mouse pad. It's the goal to send it to you so you get your ideas, what you want to do for yourself. Remember, you do the program, I'll teach you how. We do it together, I'll do it all. So it's you do, we do, I do. It's simple how to do it. So when you're trying to take your LLC to do business, no one's ever taken their parent company to do business, okay? This is the Ray Reynolds Blueprint Live. That's what it is today, very simple, as we play this game. To me, it's a game, because I always turned it into a game as a kid. All I know is when I invented Car Finder, I created that at 15. Winning the game of business. Yes, I know it's backwards, okay? Because it's in my hand. So what do we do? So winning the game made sense to me. And then from there, next business and business and business. I created division process in 84 because I didn't want to pay a franchise tax fee, to answer your question. In 84, I'm the king of satellite television. Manufacturing, distribution, retail stores, installation. We're doing like $100 million plus in satellite business, these big, ugly antennas. But I also own some Shakey's Pizza, some 31 flavors, all right, and Subways and shops and condos. When California said I had to pay a franchise tax fee for every corporation, today that fee is $1,000. $800 franchise fee, and from the office and everything that you do, it's about $1,000. Why don't you round it off? When you say you have 5 LLCs, that's $5,000 for 5 pieces of paper. See, that makes no sense to me. I would say have a corporation, today's world. See, laws and things change over the years, and that's why we changed in 84. It became approved. Sacramento said create a form and modify one. That's what I did. I created a form. They approved it. 85, 86, division process was born. Division process. To me, your LLC or C Corp or S Corp, nonprofit, PC, whatever type you pick, should have divisions. I like 18 divisions because it's a count. Numbers never lie, only people do. So if we have 18 divisions, that's up to $100,000 a month. Less divisions, less income, less credit. It's up to you. You design the situation for yourself. So again, once again, you can download the books for free today. It's all starting out for the kids. Learn from yourself and you're basically for yourself and your kids, please. And winning the credit game. Very simple as we do this as well. The goal for me is to help people and figure out how to do this step by step. That's why I'm online 6 days a week, multiple times. This is my last and final year. I'm training my junior and senior coaches. This is my 50th year. I promised when I made that promise when I was 7 years old. Very simple to do as we play this game to win. Today, you have the ability to change your life. If you have one more question or two, ask now. Be ready to go check 19 bank accounts. Got to check some emails as well and position things as well, what we need to do today. But it's up to you. More questions, simple. No more questions, that's what we're going to do. Very simple. As you have the phone number at the office, they will be here, and like I said, in about an hour's time. Talk to a specialist, no problem at all, what you get to do as we play this game to win. But again, it's up to you. Yeah, you have repetition is everything. You have to repeat things again and again. What you do today have to be basically habit forming. You have to understand habit forming, how you think, how you walk, how you talk. Corporate credit. All right, parent company shouldn't do business, division should. Line of defense. Screw up a division, you have to throw the sucker away. What happens after divisions are created? Add them to the bank account. All right, add them to the same bank account. If you get credit for the corporation, why don't you daisy chain it from the corp to the divisions? Simple. We have a class called Daisy Chain. You can go to that too. Now, most of the specialty classes are $500 each class. But this last couple of months, we've been giving some classes for free for the specialty classes. So we're going to stop doing it as of this week. So again, if you DM us today and you want to get some more things from Mouse Pad, all right, have them give you the link for the specialty class coming out this week. If not, it's going to be $500 if you're not in coaching. Because giving it away like the division class on Saturday, that class is phenomenal. All right, why would you give it for free? We do enough free as it is. So guess what you get to do? So if you DM us or you call the office, say I want to, for Saturday specialty class, Ray Reynolds said I could get it. Dr. Reynolds pay you. Simple, Pastor Reynolds, simple. Get it the link for free if you ask for it. If not, it's about $500 for that class. We have 5 of the classes that day anyway. Level 1, 2, and 3, and goal setting as well. So again, it's pretty up to you. So once again, you call the office, 800-254-9506. All right, didn't see any questions come up. So the division process, you're welcome for the answer, no problem, as we play this game to win. All right, so we have Mindy will help monitor things as well. They say repetition is the mother of all learning. Well, that's how it works. I mean, I have clients who have been in level 1 here, and they keep going level 1 for 3 or 4 years. So I agree with that because we have to learn to be habit forming. Right now, today, your credit might suck or whatever the score is. Habit forming is simple. Sticky behind the card. We dummy proof this. These cards don't fluctuate. So there's your $100,000 of credit, so you have safety credit for your family. It makes sense. Because I don't want to bring the pain home. If I finance my business, I want to use credit to do that because where am I going to get the money? Where are we going to really get the money to finance a business? Steal from the family, which most people do. 97% of business fail. Most men, it's like, ay, 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 and the wife's going, ah! She's praying it works for you guys. Unfortunately, you kind of mess up 4 or 5 times anyway. So again, repetition is always the dream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have fun. From there, all you got to do today, again, call that office number. All right, 800-254-9506. If you were one of the ones who wanted that program for the $1,000, it is Zelle or email if you don't do it today. Don't worry when you call the office. They will not offer all those pieces in that program because they're not allowed to. It's only time I answer the question from email, and I give an opportunity for here today. And right now, when we stop talking, it goes away. So guess what? We do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. Never forget, at the end of the day, God loves us all.